So let's get rolling.
Oh my God.
One hurts.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la la la la, sha la la la la la, sha la la la la, sha la la la la la.
What if we just skip Dino's and go to Edgefield and then go to Roberts?
I say Dino's.
I mean, I'm not trying to screw you
The
all
only
up.
thing is Edgefield closes at midnight.
You gotta see. Have you been to Roberts?
Like Dino's definitely
I've been anywhere.
starter, and that's it.
Saw the hotel, man.
That's-
Do I know?
Hold on, time out. Stop. You've never hung in Nashville?
No.
You're gonna have a fun time. It's good.
I have no doubt.
Nashville. If you haven't been there, you probably know it as what? A country music capital, Grand Ole Opry, and it is Music City. And there is indeed plenty of country music, both genuine and fake-ass. But it's way more than that. Nashville is one of the fastest growing metropolitan areas in all America. People who grew up here will tell you the city is in a state of perpetual, never-ending change, and the rate at which things are changing is accelerating. 80 to 100 new faces move to Nashville every single day. Some things are constants, others in flux. Even with all the radical cultural shifts, the city still remains traditionally Southern in its sensibility. For now, anyway. Because Nashville could just as soon be called Punk City or Rock City. And you were just as likely to find the word artisanal hanging over the door of a sandwich shop or a cupcake shop or a slow drip coffee laptop zone as anywhere in the land of man buns in the cities of the North. So, of course, the chefs are coming. Carpetbaggers seeking their fortunes, attracted by a more affordable business environment, or just looking for a better quality of life. Sons and daughters of the South looking to honor the traditions they grew up with, but with a more modern sensibility. Here's 4 chefs who helped change things, who were instrumental in starting something truly new and innovative, but what, because of their efforts and their mentoring, their early examples, is becoming more and more accepted practice. Tyler Brown of Capitol Grill in South Hall. Tandy Wilson of City House. Our old friend Sean Brock of Husk Nashville. And the distinguished Pat Martin of Martin's Barbecue Joint. Sundays are often spent here at Pat's house, friends, family, kicking back and drinking beer and cooking over the fire pits. All these chefs pride themselves on celebrating local, seasonal, southern ingredients and close relationships with farmers and food producers from the area. Those are 90-day aged ribeyes from nearby Bear Creek Farm slowly cooking there. And they're going to be topped off with oyster mushrooms and bourbon soy and some nice runny eggs and garlic. Grits, well, of course. These are called greasy beans, pressure canned in salt water, then heated up with pork fat, so I'm not hating that for sure. There's also homemade ricotta served with a cold smoked sausage and roasted acorn squash.
You better get it, Fred, because if you don't, you're screwed, man. I'll say everybody gets an egg. Everybody cool with that?
Oh, hell yeah. So it's a must.
Doesn't really matter what I'm eating if I'm eating outdoors.
They like to
Really?
I love eating outdoors.
Yeah, me too. Oh, yeah. Here's how we're talking. Thank you. So who started in the restaurant hospitality business in Nashville first? You started
October of '06.
'06.
We started in 2003.
'03. What was it like in '03? What did people want to eat in Nashville in '03?
Holy cow.
Wow.
Steak and potatoes?
Steakhouse, man. That's all it was. Those are the only places to eat.
Which came first, the customer or the chef in this case? I mean,
Chef.
the
hands
chef.
down.
Chef showed up first.
How open to new shit
That's the thing about
were people in
is
Nashville? Always
People,
from the beginning?
Yeah.
Because it's artistic. People are very progressive.
It's such a
It
creative.
doesn't mean they know what they're tasting, or at that time they knew what they were tasting, but they wanted it.
Who's here? Who's from here originally?
I am.
That's it.
I think so.
So they were all carpetbaggers at this table.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Some of that.
You hear that? Really?
Nashville's Lower Broadway or Music Row. It's what Nashville's selling. It's what the tourists want. And the honky-tonks or Mick-honky-tonks that line the strip now tend to lean more towards cover bands than singer-songwriters. On one hand, it employs a hell of a lot of musicians, which is a good thing. On the other hand, stray from Lower Broadway and you're bound to stumble upon a genuine dive bar. And Nashville's got some real good ones.
So, what is this place?
Dino's? Yeah. It's a burger joint that's been here for a long time. A lot of country music history is in here. A lot of Nashville history is in here. It's a fun place where you see a lot of new East Nashville life. Order up.
I can't tell you how many burgers I've had near that I don't remember.
Yeah.
There's a picture of him on my phone. Oh, I had a burger at Dino's.
Yeah. What is this?
They call these hot fries, so it's like the flavor of hot chicken, but with fries and Velveeta.
Wow.
I think it's Velveeta. Yep.
It's like country poutine.
Exactly, man. This is like redneck poutine.
That's tough.
Tony, what's cool about there's these dive bars here is there's so many studio musicians here. If you're not a badass musician in this town, you're not gonna make it. So everywhere you go, you're hearing the most incredible players you've ever seen anywhere in the world.
What music rules here still? I mean, is country music still?
Well, they've effed up country music so bad on Music Row, it's not even funny.
It's not country music. To me, it's not.
It's bullshit. But there's also so much more than country, you know.
Oh, man, that's the thing people don't realize about Nashville is it's not just country music.
if you're looking for iconic Nashville, what's bone deep, local, even deeper than the dive bar culture, you would be talking about a thing called Meat and Three. Meat and Three is a cafeteria-type institution offering for a set price a choice of meat and 3 sides.
I've been thinking about this all day since the minute I woke up. Oh, hell yeah.
It's the real deal.
Danger's in downtown Nashville is just such an institution. Doors open at 10 a.m. and close at 2 p.m. With a rotating selection of a dozen lunch staples, you're pretty sure to find what you came for.
Okra or black-eyed peas? What do you think? What should I do?
Okra.
Okra, okay.
This gentleman, too, is something of an institution. Jesse Boyce, a 2-time Grammy Award nominee, instrumentalist, songwriter, producer, and CEO of Sovereign Music Group in Nashville.
This is a big national tradition, a meat and three.
Absolutely. You see a little bit of everybody in here from truck drivers to mothers to lawyers, whomever. You can see it's multicultural. Everybody just like really comfortable with each other. Like a microcosm of what Nashville is really like.
I mean, most people, I think, who haven't been in Nashville, outside looking in, they see Nashville, they think country music.
Exactly.
But it's really not that at all. I mean, yes, it is. There's a hell of a lot of country music here.
But we had 2 strands of music that were emerging at the same time, historically. 50s and 60s, we had hee-haw and Night Train.
All aboard! The night train now boarding, and you have the best in the house, so let's get rolling with great entertainment.
Night Train was the black TV show that had all the major R&B artists on and the local artists on, the same as we had with hee-haw and all the country artists. And then you had Jefferson Street. Jefferson Street is where all the black artists came to play. People like Jimi Hendrix, Little Richard, B.B. King, Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles. All of these people played in Nashville on Jefferson Street. We had blacks and whites coming into the inner city. We didn't have Broadway. We had Jefferson Street. Back in the day, it was the place to go.
The Jefferson Street district no longer resembles its neon-lit heyday. Like a lot of historic neighborhoods in Nashville, it's being slowly eaten by developers to make way for the shiny and the new, to accommodate all the new arrivals.
It was over before it even began.
But what's left is a pretty amazing musical legacy, and one that's often overlooked or sometimes simply forgotten. Everybody's moving to Nashville. This car, affectionately referred to as the Black Shark, did in 2012. Along with its 8 cylinders of Detroit-made awesomeness came Alison Mosshart, singer-songwriter for the London-based band The Kills, which he formed over 15 years ago with Jamie Hintz, and more recently, locally based The Dead Weather.
Straight to a red light.
She needed someplace to park her car, she says, and Nashville seemed right.
I lived in London forever riding the bus. I really wanted to get a muscle car, and I needed a garage to put it in. There's no way I can be unhappy in this car.
Completely understand the relationship.
This is a custom-made Dodge Challenger. If it hits you at speed, it will mess you up real bad.
I love this car. I'm having car envy.
This is Nashville Hot Chicken. If you order it in its hottest iteration, it too will mess you up, as I came to find out. Hot chicken recipes are notoriously kept secret, but preparation always begins with the poultry getting double dredged and deep fried for a thick, crispy crust. Then each piece is given a wet or dry application for that sought-after caustic kick. With the wet, the chef's mix of hot spices comes in an oil-based sauce or paste that the chicken is dipped in or coated with. Other cooks use the dry method, coating the chicken with a blistering blend of cayenne, sugar, paprika, and other secret spices that form a fiery outer layer. If you come here to the very fine Boltons for your hot chicken or their optional hot fish, it can, in its milder forms, which are still scorchingly hot, be delicious.
Yummy.
But try the hot stuff and watch out. No, really, watch out.
How long have you been in Nashville?
4 years, maybe. No, I was working here all the time. I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. Lots of people I knew were moving here. Lots of bands. Lots of rock and roll was coming to town.
Yeah, a real lot.
You know, when I was touring when I was a teenager, this is a place you would avoid. If you were in a punk band, don't come play Nashville. No one will come to your show. That sort of seemed to change like 10 years ago. Or suddenly, I was like, people are showing up.
Right. All right.
From left to right, hot, medium, mild. And then the fish, spicy, if that's non-spicy on that side.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't even order, so you guys go for it.
Oh, you're gonna have to try some.
Matthew Mosshart, Allison's brother, is a professional chef who moved here in 2013 to start a catering business.
We should have gloves on. Oh, man.
The medium is really hot. That's really hot. And it just keeps coming.
You're already diving into the coleslaw at a million miles an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Are you done?
Yeah, this isn't good. That was,
Which one did you get?
I think, medium, mild, whatever it is.
No. I know that I don't have a hot one, but this is hot anyway. I'm trying to bond with you guys.
All right, I'm going in. Do not resuscitate.
Oh, man. I don't want this.
Oh, that hurts. I think I'm hallucinating.
That's putting you in a head spin.
Oh my God, you guys.
It's like a sharp burning, and it just keeps coming and coming and coming. It's not going away.
You got nothing on yours? Was it like a
I'm
meeting?
good over here. I'm real good.
And you're good to
This
go?
is great.
A little bit of mustard?
There appears to be a little bit of mustard on here, yes.
Okay.
How bad can it be? I just experienced like 12-hour payback from Hot Chicken.
Right.
I mean, and this was an existentially awful experience that I really, there were moments when I didn't think I was gonna make it. This has gotta be so much better than that, and it's only 3 minutes.
Only 3 minutes. I'll take it.
Is there snacks in there? My friend Dean Fertitta plays guitar and keyboards for Queens of the Stone Age. He also plays with the Dead Weather with Allison, who you just met. A Nashville resident too, he trains in Krav Maga, a lethal martial art at the same gym where I trained jiu-jitsu when in town. These things hurt. They punish the body. They make a person sore. Fortunately, I had a knuckle-headed idea and a place to do it. Cryotherapy, the latest in muscle recovery treatments.
So far, so good.
No. No. This is a terrible restaurant, Tony.
Basically, you step inside a big tube into which liquid nitrogen is pumped, chilling things down to a less than comfortable minus 300 degrees.
Oh, God.
You apparently convince your body that it's dying on the permafrost, causing it to kick loose all sorts of emergency, life-saving, anti-inflammatory proteins. After which, you are supposed to feel better. If your fingers and penis don't shatter like Hummel figurines.
You did it. Oh, watch your head. Right.
Took it off.
Well, how you feel?
Good luck. I'm dying. In a good way, though.
All right.
So step right in.
No, not ready. Step in. I don't like the way he looks. He looks unhappy.
All right.
Sorry.
Did you notice how like the last 40, 50 seconds were the coldest?
Yeah.
Pretty much this whole session is going to be like that last 40, 50 seconds.
Oh,
the whole
great.
session, because you're going second.
Oh, yeah, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're already at negative 306.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That's not good.
You can do it.
Oh. You feeling all right?
No, it's good. It's bad. I don't want to rub some hot chicken all over my body.
They're 10 seconds in.
No, don't tell me that.
You see, he's already at negative 308. So you didn't hit negative 306 and 308 for the last minute.
How long have I got?
You're not even halfway there.
I'm not even halfway there.
I'm trying to be helpful, but I can't even talk right now.
Yeah.
So
How are we doing for time?
You're almost done.
Yeah, what's almost mean?
10 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah, 10 seconds.
Wow.
Wow.
This was on level 2.
done.
There's still a third level.
Level 2.
Yeah. There's still one more level up.
What's the longest you can go in?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah, we always suggest
Watch your head, sir.
Well, I always wondered what it was like to have a micro penis. Oh, I feel a little crispy. That was kind of awesome.
Freshly invigorated by our Sub-Zero experience with newfound appetites to go with our newfound cryogenically induced superpowers, Dean and I head over to City House, Tandy Wilson's place, for some pizza.
So would you say that what you've seen here is what you were expecting to find?
I like it here. It's a friendly town.
And it's friendly.
Yeah.
I know, I remember when we first came down here, we'd go to the gas station, people would say hello, and we would be like,
Yeah.
you know.
That takes some getting used to.
What is that?
Yeah. I'm assuming she's half kidding, but Allison said it's all about the car. She needed someplace to park the car.
Why she moved here?
Yeah.
I totally believe
You don't doubt that. She does love that car.
Right.
I mean, as much as I talk about, I would never buy a muscle car because once I start, it's like I would never be satisfied. I would, you know, I mean, you don't want to be like Jay Leno with like 30 muscle cars. You know, let's face it, if you own 30 classic muscle cars, there comes a point where people are going to look at you and say, you know, sorry about your penis. You know, there's something else going on here.
Music is a $10 billion a year economy around here, employing more people than anywhere else in the country. Its producers, its session artists, even the studios themselves are legendary. If you can make it as a working musician in Nashville, where there's anything but a shortage and standards high, you can pretty much make it anywhere.
Lightning 100, this is Jason Moon. In the studio with us today, Nashville artist Margot Price. Fader magazine has called her Nashville's favorite new badass. We agree. She's here to play a couple of new songs for us.
Thanks for having me. 1, 2, 3.
Margot Price grew up on her family's farm in Buffalo Prairie, Illinois. Her family was forced to sell when she was age 2, which is pretty damn country already, if you ask me. As a country music traditionalist, she struggled for years to find her place within Nashville's increasingly pop-driven country scene and the growing indie rock one. In 2010, she lost one of her twin sons to a rare heart condition, self-medicated with alcohol, and ended up with every kind of problem, including problems of the legal kind. She poured her heart and every cent she had, recording an album in just 3 days at the legendary Sun Studios in Memphis, selling her car and her wedding ring along the way.
Dogs that howl on dead-end roads, they remind me where I am, and all the sins I gave away, well, I got them back again. My pain has made me wise, no wasted tears to cry. So many things you never said, but you told me with your eyes.
The album, Midwest Farmer's Daughter, was rejected 30 times by the major labels until she found herself on the radar of Jack White and his brilliant and eccentric enterprise, Third Man Records. Third Man's impact on the Nashville music scene can't be understated. With an eclectic, unpredictable list of artists, reissues, and obsessions, they've tilted the town's axis a bit, making Nashville the center not just of country music, but also what? Of course, White has also produced albums for country music legends like Loretta Lynn, so if anything, they are reliably unreliable when predicting what they might do next.
Let's get ready for a full take. Can you get everyone
Right now, what comes next is Margot Price, who's recording today at Third Man's live music venue, the Blue Room. The recording, a unique one-of-a-kind operation because it's all going directly to acetate. Before digital and before analog tape was used for mastering, disc recording was done live. No editing, no overdubs. Redirecting this process on this 1953 lathe, Third Man has mastered a number of albums like this, giving listeners as close to a live experience as possible. Also, it's kind of cool.
Here at Third Man in the Blue Room, it's the only place in the world where you can actually do a live to acetate recording.
That album that was rejected 30 times debuted on Billboard's top country chart at number 10 in its opening week, and was this year's #1 country album in the UK. Margot's promotional tour includes performances on Saturday Night Live, Conan, Colbert, and the Grand Ole Opry itself. But before heading out on the road, the band and friends gather one last time at Margot's East Nashville home. Her husband and bass player in the band, Jeremy, prepares biscuits with pimento and cheese, topped with chopped bacon, along with red wine braised short rib on a crostini with goat cheese.
All right. Yeah, well,
I know, it was here,
Do you guys eat like this all the time?
He cooks like this all the time. He's worked in like every restaurant in town. Yeah, we've all been in the restaurant business. You. He just got fired from a job over on the west side. Sorry.
Way to go for him.
I mean, first of all, let me ask, who here is from Nashville originally?
Exactly, she is.
This has been pretty much the story of my experience here so far. You know, the town has a reputation. There were so many really good musicians here. Does that make it harder to break out here? And alternately, what happens if you suck here? Like, I mean, if you're playing country western,
I mean,
and you're not good at your instrument, can you make a living here and suck?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, not to say like there's tons of bands that suck or something here, but when I came here, I wasn't good enough, and I went out to some like writers rounds, and I learned very quickly that I had to be a better player, I had to be a better singer, I had to be a better writer, and like, so you know, you work hard because you're surrounded by that. It's like you're typically playing to like a whole room of, you know, pickers and writers, and so it's like, how many Nashville musicians does it take to change a light bulb? 1 to do it, and 20 to stand around and say, I can do that.
I put hurting on the bottle. Baby, now I'm blind enough to see. Been drinking whiskey like it's water. That don't touch pain to put on me.
There seems to be a sense like a lot of established bands have always come here for something metaphysical. I mean, they say, well, I want to work with particular session musicians, or I want to record at a particular studio.
Yes.
But that's really kind of a metaphysical decision. Does that particular mixing board actually possess magical powers that will make your record better?
I kind of feel like there's something special about a room. You go into RCA Studio B, where all the Elvis singles were cut, all the Orbison singles were cut, Everly Brothers. There's something special about that room. Yeah, I mean, you joke around about like the thing about, oh, there's something special on the board. Sometimes there is.
I put hurting on the bottle. Baby, now I'm blind enough to see. Been drinking whiskey like it's water. That don't touch the pain you put on me.
Sign of the apocalypse or an age of enlightenment? You decide. The craft cocktail program has arrived, and it's spreading fast. Josh Habiger's cocktail bar, Patterson House, and its upstairs 20-seat counter-only restaurant, Catbird Seat, has been catering to the sophisticated palates of Nashvillians since 2011. Josh rolled in from Chicago, a self-trained mixologist, as they call makers of drinks these days, and professional chef. He's got 5 acclaimed restaurants across the city.
Cheers. Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
So, do places like this represent that the town has changed, or do they change the town?
When we opened this, I was amazed by the support that we got from people. People didn't want to hate us, they wanted to like it here.
Really? I mean, in New York, particularly if you come from out of town, we kind of want to hate you. I mean, we're not the cold-hearted town that people portray us to be, but especially if you're hot shit somewhere else, you're going to have a real steep climb in New York. We are kind of hoping you're going to fail, and if we can help you, we will. It's not like that here, from what I understand. Carpetbagging interlopers are welcome here in a way that they are not in a lot of places. whether it's music or restaurants or art, come here and do creative shit.
Yeah, it's a really cool place. It's a lot of fun.
A little crumble of sea salt. Let me know when it's ready.
The idea of this place was to cook the way that a bartender bartends. You're looking the person in the eye and handing them the plate of food. There's no hiding. If they love it, then you see that. If they don't love it, then
Plan B.
yeah.
So menu changes every night?
At the whim of Poli right now.
Chef Ryan Poli is the new kid in town, fresh from Chicago. A veteran of Mercadito, Hospitality's Tavernita, Little Market Brasserie, and Barcito.
All right. The first serving we have, this is risotto, but instead of using rice, we use sunflower seed. We treat it like a normal risotto. We add Parmesan cheese and a little bit of butter. We topped it with a little bit of fermented sunchokes, the base of the sunflower plant, and just garnished it with the little green sunflower sprouts. So we use 3 different cooking techniques of 1 ingredient to make this dish. Enjoy.
Beautiful. Well, insanely delicious. Nothing about that description sounded particularly interesting to me. It's delicious.
This next course is a play on a very traditional Italian dish, linguine, chili flakes, a sea urchin, or crab meat. This is our version. We just use Japanese ingredients. So we made a wakame seaweed bucatini. We used yuzu koshu to represent the chili flakes, a little bit citrusy, a little bit spicy. And then we took scallops and dried and smoked them and grated it over the top. There we go. Enjoy.
Oh. Thank you. Man, you were talking my language here. That's obscenely good. I would face-plant at a big This would be good. Remember when Tony Soprano would come home? Like, he'd come home after a night of whoring and killing people, and he'd go home and he'd open the refrigerator, and there'd be like a Tupperware container, and there'd be like some cold leftover ziti that Carmela had made him, like, maybe the night before, maybe 2 nights ago, but the fact is it was there. As completely awesome as this is, I would wake up and eat this cold, like in a Tupperware container. The next morning, I would totally eat this. It's completely awesome.
It's a great compliment. There's a couple cookies in here for you. One's a macaroon, chocolate, and raspberry. So thank you.
Wow.
It's been a pleasure. Enjoy.
I like rooting around in Gene Simmons' brain. Yeah, I do not approve of your right-wing politics. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Why?
Welcome to Disgraceland, Allison's Nashville home. It's a house party, so there's gotta be food.
You just do a small series there where you weren't looking.
You don't have to look when you cut, right?
No.
We can look at each other.
Yeah. What?
Ready?
Okay.
And as one must at any reputable house party, live entertainment. Dean Fertitta, Jack Lawrence, Mr. Jack White, and Allison Mossart, known, I believe, as the Dead Weather.
I never know how to treat you. You say I love you, but it ain't true. I'm walking away now. Hey, what's that forward and back to? I let you back by the head. I held you up from the heavens.
In the galley, Matthew and I slave over celeriac apple and walnut salad, fried pork dumplings, pulled pork with red cabbage, and deviled eggs, because it ain't a party without deviled eggs, and brisket.
Hang you up from the heavens.
In another part of the house, free party favors for everyone. Permanent ones. Choose your tattoo carefully, my drunken friends. Choose well.
Oh, you spelled Donald Trump wrong.
Also on the bill, the kills. A tooth tattoo in some cultures means, actually I have no idea what it means until Allison says she chose it because she liked it and it's for biting.
We're in.
I, on the other hand, gave this scorpion careful consideration after a less carefully considered number of tequilas.
That looks amazing. The ends, but
It's sinister.
I like
Which
it.
is just
Really sinister.
Nothing's a color across the desert, nothing's allowed. What does the blacktop know that I have not cracked with my mind? Nothing's a color, gray as a pill, nobody cries.
I'm pretty proud of that. That came out pretty good.
Thank you. With nothing to like, I feel love. I feel love. Once in a while.
I'm still so drunk.
A drink will help.
Man, good party.
It was like the greatest. As I was driving here, I just couldn't stop smiling. Just remembering like the things I can remember, which is not all of it, but there's a timeline. Yeah. Seriously, I have bite marks. I have
No
cigarette burns.
way.
No, I do. I found.
Who bit
that's
you?
A cigarette. That's a bite mark. What's that? Also,
That's a bruise.
What's that? There's a timeline here, people. Let's work it out. I feel so complete. And I was gonna wear that today, but I failed.
That guy was wearing a tutu. So I guess it could be worse this morning. I mean, I could.
Wow, what's that? Ooh.
Yeah! Apparently, we took some casualties at last night's house party. But for every throbbing skull, every unremembered blunt force trauma, there is a cure. A Bloody Mary, a mimosa, or both, should you prefer. Pinewood Social, our friend Josh's place, where natural allies, alcohol, hangovers, and bowling coexist peacefully in an atmosphere of mutual respect. Also food.
Tony, how many times do you eat a day? No, because when I watch that show, I think about it. I'm like, wow, you've had like 7 meals and it's only 1 o'clock.
Who's up?
You're up first.
I'm up? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
not a promising beginning.
It can only get better.
I don't think he's American.
If there's any hustler, it would be LJ. You know,
unassuming guy who just happens to show up after being missing for a little while.
Right. I can see that.
That might have been the quickest gutter of the day. Over the line.
Yes! I'm getting into character.
In a safer world, all of us here would be prohibited from hurling heavy objects in any direction, given our sorry states and our general ineptness at this sport of kings. But that's Nashville for you. A welcoming place, a forgiving one. I feel right at home.
When I first came here, the streets are paved with gold, and you can walk that road. I've been told, but I won't put out. I be controlled, I don't rap the shit that gets bought and sold. Ask any man, he might know. He used to live on Music Road, but that was then, and this is now. And he told me this town gets around. From what I found, this town gets around.
Me leva pra passear. Eba, Istanbul. Quero que você me diga quantos peixes tem no mar. Eu tiro água, tiro pedra, pra depois poder contar. Duas brancas na janela, uma preta no jardim. Você fica com as branquinhas e deixa a pretinha pra mim. Eba, eba, me leva pra passear. Eu quero ver. Eba, me leva pra
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la,
In Bahia, you find yourself in the heart of Brazil, where the magic comes from. If you want to get there, just follow the sound of the drums. This is Salvador de Bahia, city of 3 million people, first capital of Brazil, the wellspring for everything African and spicy, where things seem to just sway and move constantly. It's a place where everybody is sexy, where even the ugly people are hot. Unsurprisingly, this is where artists come from. African spiritualism, occult magic, candomblé, capoeira.
Caipirinha.
And caipirinhas. Did I mention caipirinhas? They do those here too. I like them. I like them a lot.
What's magical about this cocktail is the first taste, it's like, I don't know, man. It's a little too something. And then like that second sip, it's like, oh, that's kind of good. Then the third sip, it's, where are my pants?
Unfortunately, food in these parts tends to be, shall we say, hearty. For instance, a delightful meal of fried meat with plenty of absorbent starch product like farofa, the perfect accompaniment to many, many caipirinhas.
Oh, excellent. Obrigado. Now we're talking. It's a tough town for vegetarians. Oh, chorizo, good. And I'll have 6 more of these, please. People are staring at me. They say, look at that. The heave and hump of an American, how much he's eating. Just line him up, my friend. Thank you. Obrigado. Yeah. So nice walking around here. The audio component's really amazing. There's always drums somewhere.
Isso para mim é uma coisa que me faz me movimentar. Eu gosto de encontrar lugares, descobrir pessoas, descobrir histórias, descobrir tudo que está acontecendo dentro da cidade. E é isso, eu vivo isso o tempo todo.
Welcome to Salvador, my friend.
Oh, good to be here. Again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Love it here.
Wow, please, one cup for you, man. Oh, come on, Joe. Welcome to Salvador, right?
Thank you.
Well, good to see you.
This is Claudio and Marilia. It's good to have friends in a place like Salvador. In fact, you're pretty much lost without them.
Saúde. Aqui na garrafa for next stop there.
Right.
Cool.
Tuesday night in Palo.
Yeah, man. And the Tuesday night is very interesting. Many people come to church first.
Right.
Next, going to drink around, right? Try something, listen good music. And the corner here, man.
People have to work tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's Brazil, right?
Yeah, it's Brazil, but you have this kind of behavior
Right.
here in Pelinho, but not in whole city.
So how different is Salvador from Rio and Sao Paulo?
Man, Salvador is a mother, you know. The music here, the candomblé, the architecture, this area is amazing, man.
It is.
It's amazing. And then for eat, drink, history, memory, anything.
Pelourinho, Pelo for short, was Salvador during the Portuguese colonial period. It's almost always a party, a series of parties actually, but tonight is special.
Oh, look at the smell, man.
Smells good.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Is it good?
So where to next?
Go to the stair.
Yeah.
I like to bring in you today because coming here, people everywhere. This is a free party. You can dance, you can drink your beer everywhere. It's cool to see the show inside. It's amazing. Woo! Tony, you try that?
What is it?
It's a cravinho, clove and mix with honey, lemon.
Alcohol?
Yes.
Alcohol of unknown origin dispensed from atop the head of the stranger?
Oh,
that's good.
That's good?
Mama always said that was a good idea.
Viva Salvador!
And I don't know if it's the booze, or the music, or the tropical heat, but after a while bouncing from place to place, wandering down old cobblestone streets, different music issuing from everywhere, a different party, people flowing out of buildings, one gathering commingling with another, the music mixing. It really does seem that everybody is moving to some mysterious, unknowable pulse, some unheard throb that moves people to constantly touch each other, stroke hips, necks, limbs. It is useful to know that of over 12 million Africans dragged, ripped, and kidnapped from their homelands, nearly 5 million ended up in Brazil. 1.5 million of them in Bahia alone. Pelinho became the locus of a vast infrastructure of plantations and the slave trade that powered them, making this city in northeastern Brazil the most opulent in the New World. Pelinho, it's worth pointing out, gets its name from the whipping post. 100 years after slavery was outlawed in Brazil, Pelinho had been forgotten. But of course, the neighborhood had its charms. If you were an artist, a musician, a writer, you could afford to live here. Cheap rent for longtime locals, or shiny new art galleries and hipster cafes. We know which way the current of history runs.
Eu vivo aqui pensando como sobreviver. O mundo vai girando e o novo sol vai nascer. E as pedras vão rolando ao amanhecer. E a gente acreditando que o novo sol vai nascer. Seus olhos puros e ardentes, clareando minha mente, eu vivo sonhar sempre com você. Musa inspiradora, não me deixe só. Preciso de você para criar o reflexo da vida e mostrar para o mundo a verdade no corpo e na alma, antes que seja tarde demais.
Here, though, one man stands alone. Jaime Figura, a poet, sculptor, painter, musician. Now, perhaps, his own greatest artistic creation. He's chosen to hide his face from view and to stand in opposition, an eyesore, a rebuke, a defiant, guar-like embarrassment to the occupiers.
As he dresses now, this is for protection, but as I understand, also protest.
E essa sua forma é uma forma de protesto também?
Foi porque eu perdi meu emprego. Além de perder meu emprego, de ter rasgado meu paletó, roupa, porra toda, entendeu? Ainda vi uns filha da puta de lá da periferia me bater, entendeu? Me agredir, achando que eu tava errado, que eu era isso e aquilo, entendeu? Aí piorou mais a situação. Aí coloquei a máscara de ferro, entendeu?
It's a kind of protest, but also protection. You know?
Who's the enemy?
Quem são os inimigos? Ele tá perguntando quem são.
Os inimigos são todos.
Everyone.
Quem vê cara não vê coração.
You see face, you not see heart, né?
How long have you been wearing the armor? How long?
Há 46 anos atrás.
46 years.
46 years. You know? That was a long time ago. You ever go to the beach?
Eu gosto de ficar na sombreira só.
No sun. Only shadow.
Only the
beer,
darkness.
And beer. No
You're
sun.
goth, dude.
Whisky com água de coco.
Whiskey and coconut. But not sun. No sun.
Mas entrar na água não vou, não.
Not water, not sun.
Just down from where we're sitting, Jaime's Pelinho studio. His water and power have been shut off, but he insists he's going nowhere.
Brazil is supposed to be about what? Music, dancing, sun, hot women. Does he reject those things? Does he think that's bull?
É que eu tô no país errado, tô na cidade errada.
He's in the wrong country, he tells.
É, aconteceu.
I am in the wrong country.
Where would the perfect place be?
A cidade do rock.
The rock city.
Rock City. That's Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit, Rock City. What music inspires him?
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, though. I think they're touring, actually.
Que mais?
Nirvana.
Nirvana. Metallica?
Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Metallica, Beethoven.
Carlos, what do you think about all this? I think anybody who comes here recognizes immediately that this is a really uniquely extraordinary and, despite many problems, a uniquely wonderful, magical place.
It's a magical place, but also for us, for me and for him. Here is a place where many people, black people, have suffered. There is still one kind of karma of this old history here, you know?
So what is the real Pelourinho?
Qual é o Pelourinho real? Ele tá querendo saber qual
O Pelourinho real somos nós.
We are
Que
the real
frequentamos
Pelourinho.
aqui,
We are.
dia a dia, dando vida a essa merda. Entendeu?
Give life for the... We are the real Pelourinho.
Meu nome é Jaime Figura. Eu estou aqui no Pelourinho, na Babilônia, a nossa Babilônia, que ninguém vai tomar. É tudo nosso. Na verdade, eu gosto de vocês, entendeu? Só que tem umas pulguinhas que ficam me enchendo o saco, atrapalhando a minha vida, entendeu? Mas eu tô aqui pra fazer meu rock and roll e meu lugar é aqui, no Pelourinho!
I don't like pina coladas, but I like walking in the rain. I like wandering through markets as much as the next guy, but what I really like are neurotoxins. In Japan, they call it fugu. Yeah, its eyes, ovaries, and internal organs are just packed full of varying amount of toxins. And some hysterical ninnies will tell you that tetrodotoxin present in the blowfish is 1,200 times more potent than cyanide. And they'll tell you how if it's consumed, you remain conscious while your muscles gradually become paralyzed and death, like a slow-moving freight train, looms closer and closer. And whatever you do, just make sure you cut out that liver. I say, bull.
So, we're eating blowfish.
Yeah, it's an adventure.
Like the Japanese, they like the poison stuff?
I know, yeah.
So do they, but they remove the liver and the skin and all
It's
that?
supposed to be removed properly.
Right, properly, right. I saw a Simpsons episode, I think.
This guy make it great.
Poisonous blowfish moqueca recipe. Add to said fish, lemon, coriander, onion, tomato, coconut milk, dende oil, cover, and simmer. I am confident in this cook I don't know. And in this man, Bel Bourdain, my host and an aficionado of this dish.
Smelling good.
Bon appetito, monsieur.
Thank you.
There's a lot of pepper, huh?
Oh, yeah, good pepper. Nice and spicy. I can't feel my legs. Is that a bad thing?
Bel is an artist, after all, a very famous one. So he knows about neurotoxins. He comes from a long tradition of artists who have found inspiration in Bahia.
Is there something about Salvador you think that is conducive to an artistic sensibility? I mean, there's so much color here and music and...
Lights, the light here is beautiful.
The light is really special. The bill, I mean, just the colors of the city are amazing. The colors of the people are amazing, and the way they move.
They move.
I don't know, when I first came here, I thought, everybody in this city looks like they just got, or they're on their way to go. So this was the Central Market back before supermarkets. This is where everybody did their shopping, right?
Oh, yes. You know what? This is the real Brazilians here. The real Bahias.
Right.
This place is the intestine of the city. They sell shrimps and stuff here, oil and stuff. This kind of oil we call dende, palm oil.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever, however you want to call it.
And I love the dende oil. You know, it takes some getting used to. The first time I was here, you know, you eat it, you shit like a mink for hours afterwards. But now, no problems. I've been eating this all week, loving it. We're on your 5th time in Brazil.
You're developing resistance, man.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're sure it's good.
There you go, buddy. Hope you like spicy. He's a Brazilian cat. He's got to like spicy.
Oh, muito obrigado, meu amor.
A little cachaça?
Yes.
Told you. Yeah, that'll set you right.
I think now you're protected from the poison.
Right. We're coming up to the World Cup, and I think a lot of people are going to be reading about crime and all of that. How do you think it's going to go, the World Cup? Disaster, or it's going to somehow work out?
I think it'll be a success. It'll be a successful.
You think it'll be a success?
I'm sure of it.
Salvador is one of the host cities for the 2014 World Cup. A huge stadium has recently been completed, but a lot of people are worried, concerned, if Brazil is ready. I've been told thousands of prostitutes are studying tourist-appropriate languages in preparation. So probably a lot of people are going to get laid, a lot of people are going to get robbed, a lot of people are going to get laid and robbed.
Have you ever been here in Carnival?
No.
It's a,
Well, that's
the World Cup beside Carnival.
And that works out, right? That's not a slaughter fest.
It's a breakfast.
Right.
I think it happens, but it works.
I think Salvador in particular is a place where,
May I?
no matter, thank you, no matter what, people should come. Even people who are afraid to travel, who say, oh, well, but I hear, no, you know what, live your life, man. Come, you should not miss a place like this, because there aren't a lot of places in the world that even come close to this.
Look our food. We are today. I invited you to have this dish. We're not doing to die because
I'm pretty sure
we are not born to die.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mr. Muffin Stuff over here is going to suddenly jump on me and start clawing my face.
If the poison was active, she was dead.
Ooh, I didn't think of that. My little, I shall call you Canary.
We are not born for dying.
No.
O mar, o pescador, Salvador, tudo é junto. Sem o mar, não somos ninguém. Isso aí é uma paixão. O mar é uma paixão. Você vai lá uma vez, você não quer sair mais. E os pescadores que vivem disso aí, isso aí é a vida da gente. A vida do pescador. O pescador gosta disso. Se não tiver o mar, quando ele está revolto, olha, o pescador sofre, porque ele não consegue viver sem o mar, mesmo ele não indo lá e não conseguindo nada. Mas ele tem que estar no mar, porque é a vida dele. E sem o mar não tem vida.
The Bay of All Saints, a vast natural harbor, allowed Salvador to prosper. Tucked along its shore, if you look hard enough, you'll find a small grouping of shacks roofed in corrugated tin. This is where a local fishermen's association brings their catch to sell to wholesalers and then relax after a long day on the water. Catch of the day, the prized big red snapper. Rub with sea salt, lemon, olive oil. Grill over charcoal. Enjoy view.
So everybody here is fishermen?
Todo mundo aqui são pescadores.
Pescadores, profissionais.
Pescadores autênticos.
Meet Maloka, a very special guy. He's been working as our head of security, and as for reasons that are immediately obvious, he enjoys respect and reputation on the streets. But he also comes out of this neighborhood, and these guys are his friends.
How's business now? I mean, a lot of fish out there? Fishing business good?
Como é o negócio agora? O mar dá certo, traz monte de...
Olha, não, agora tá razoável. Tem época que também dá pouco, tem época que não dá nada, tem época que também ganha mais pouco.
Lunch wouldn't be complete without a delicious spicy salsa of garlic, tomato, onions, and peppers. On the side, some deep-fried little smelts. Don't forget the beer and the cachaça. And enjoy.
Yeah, that'll work. It looks like a big grouper.
Big. It's a big redfish today.
Avisa que é pimenta, não que aí o povo come. Ele sabe.
I have to advise you that
It's spicy.
Spicy.
What's everybody, beer or cachaça?
Os dois.
Both.
Esse é o homem, esse é o mais velho pescador aqui. Ele é o mais velho pescador.
Still working?
O senhor ainda está trabalhando?
Ele vem da pescaria agora.
Trabalha mais do que todos aqui.
You work more than all of them.
Não reme com a língua.
They use a line or net?
Linhazol, mão.
Hand line.
Mais simple is just the hand around a piece of wood like that.
Right.
And take like that.
They don't cut the hands?
Always cut the hands.
Fishing anywhere is hard, and the way these guys do it particularly hard. Mostly hand lines from small boats. Just look at these hands.
Okay. You're a hard man, literally.
Tipo de comer ou...
Estamos esperando por isso.
Dá meu prato, por favor.
Yeah, that's what I want right here. Oh yeah, jackpot. But that's, you'll pardon the expression, some good head.
The fisherman loves the head.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's the best part for them.
Ele sabe comer, viu?
Sabe.
Ele sabe comer.
Tuna. Looking good. You can just throw him right on the barbie. Man, it's a good piece of fish. Beautiful. In Rio, if you're anything less than perfectly cut, you feel terrible going to the beach. You never want to go to the beach. Here, I can frolic in a Speedo and feel pretty good about myself. They let it all hang out here.
Chegou a barriga, hein?
Olha, que eu já topava Arapuama, viagem pra mim, leite de camelo com pão da ilha, hein?
Caipirinha? Ah, the Caipirinha man. This indispensable icon of Brazilian beach culture is known to start with fresh lime. Muddle and mash with more lime juice, sugar, ice. The magic ingredient, cachaça. That's basically the distilled liquor of the sugar cane. Shaken, not stirred, and you got yourself one of the world's truly great cocktails. A utility beverage good for any time of day or any social occasion.
Very satisfying. They do these toasted cheese things here. Awesome. If there's anything, casual, if there's anything better than cheese, it's semi-melted cheese. Like, what's the best part of French onion soup? It's the little burnt bits of cheese around the edge. Obrigado. Oh, yeah. It's just as good as it looks.
Look at this line. These guys are famous.
Acarajé. I've had it before. I have had it here, in fact. These ladies make it good. Really good. The clothes go back to the newly freed slaves who now were able to practice their religion and began selling the acarajé to support the candomblé community. What is acarajé? Behold, a paste, a batter, a falafel-like wad of smushed up black-eyed peas, seasoned with ground dried shrimp and onions, deep-fried till crispy and golden in some chili-spiked dende oil. Already, if you're a rookie, you're guaranteed some quality time on the porcelain bus real soon. On the top, you got your vatapá, which is sort of a shrimp curry paste, and your tomato salad. Your fried shrimp, your camarão frito, a must.
All right, beautiful.
Don't forget the hot chili oil. And prepare for liftoff.
Really good.
When millions of Africans were taken by force to Brazil, the traditions, the musical roots they had, instruments they played, their gods, and their food came with them. In the days of slavery, you had to hide that stuff, whether it was your religion or your self-defense skills.
So, tell me about capoeira.
It was a kind of martial art. But in the beginning of 19th century, capoeira became more like a game, and the music instruments were associated to the fight.
No hands, right? All feet and head? Why no hands?
We use the hands in just a few movements.
Where did that come from, and why do you think that became...
Some people say that this is inspired by the animal movements.
In a recent study observing the comparative destructive power between kicks from various martial arts of karate, Muay Thai, and Taekwondo, it was capoeira that packed the most ferocious impact. The colonial masters knew this and made it illegal for much of Brazil's history. Today, maestras like Janja and Pelinho teach capoeira in classrooms and on stages.
Originally, it was a male-dominated activity. When did that change?
Since the 60s, Master Janja and me, we start our process in the beginning of the 80s.
Right.
And nowadays we have hundreds of women practicing capoeira.
What was it like in the beginning? From the very first women who did it?
Mothers or fathers or the family,
Right.
you know, said that, well, capoeira is not for women. Why you decide to do this?
Afro-Brazilian cuisine is the result of many, many years of cooks experimenting with African and Portuguese dishes combined with local ingredients like seafood, chilies, coconut milk. This is Angelica's house, open one day a week as a restaurant serving her unique style of Bahian dishes.
Beautiful. Wow, look at that.
Looks very good.
How has being a master of capoeira, how has that changed the rest of your life?
I think it's changed a lot. Women in general, they don't learn to fight. Learning how to be involved in real fights, game and fight at the same time. We became more prepared to be involved in symbolic fight. And in our society, the women, they are not so well prepared like men.
It was purely African in the beginning, and now it's Afro-Brazilian form, is that correct?
All the instruments are African instruments.
Right. They're singing. A lot of singing, and it's important.
Yeah. And in Portuguese. But we, in our group and in Capoeira Angola, we start to include music from other African cultural traditions, including lyrics in African languages.
All of the things that we look at as Brazilian, from outside, looking in, the cuisine, samba, all of these things are very African in origin. And this is kind of where that all started, yes? I mean, I don't want to say it's the real Brazil. Everyone looks at Rio as the postcard Brazil, but here it's really, you feel it, those things.
It has to do with this big concentration of Africans since the beginning of the city. It's different.
Quando eu estou dentro de uma roda de capoeira, quando eu estou praticando capoeira, eu estou, na realidade, em busca de superação de uma série de desafios que são construídos a partir da nossa própria autoimagem, né? Você perceber como é que é você estando no mundo sem estar no mundo sozinho.
If, say, you found yourself in Brazil and had the chance to hire a boat, head for the beach with a bunch of new friends, bring along a skilled mixologist expertly trained in the fine arts of caipirinha making, why wouldn't you? Charge across the water, headed for a nice, quiet island, water up some sun to come out from behind dark clouds right about now. Sometimes cliches are cliches for a reason, because they're good ideas to start with. which is why people keep looking for them and doing them over and over. In a perfect world, upon reaching said enchanted island, you'd jump into the warm Atlantic waters. And if you could, you'd have a classic soundtrack to this adventure, like samba, for instance. Splash around for a while, maybe enjoy a nice cold beer or two.
You truly have not taken a beach until a man has set up the Caipirinha station. Then you know the LZ is secure. I love nature and caipirinhas. Whoa, what's going on here? Caipirinha.
Your glass.
Please. Sweet. This alone is an argument for the greatness of this country.
And what goes great with caipirinhas on the beach? How about some barbecue?
You eat it with the shell here, by the way, unless I'm mistaken. Please, Morrissey, don't eat me. Look in your heart. Don't eat me. Oh, no. Oh, not my head. Oh. Ah. Well.
To complete the picture, maybe a large fish, maybe some crab.
You know, anytime you get your Chinese, your Brazilians, and your Italians all agreeing on something, it's pretty clear it's a really good idea. Everybody agrees that this complicated-looking creature with all those troublesome shells is worth the work. So you tear off the little limbs. We'll get to you later, my friends. Rip out the tail. These are the lungs. You don't want them. Now you got all this nice fat in there. Oh, yeah. Now we're getting to the claw. Look at that. Let's poke it out of there. Oh, yeah. Push it through that little nubbin of goodness, like a celestial nipple. Oh. When people started demanding boneless stuff, like chicken without a bone, or crab meat without the actual crab, or lazy lobster, that was the beginning of the erosion of our society as we know it. If you're not willing to work for a payoff like this, how do you expect us to, like, fight Al-Qaeda if you can't suck the meat out of a crab? A character builder and delicious.
And if your perfect day really did happen, you'd probably let yourself be swept away by liquor and good food and gin-clear water, while all around you, horny Brazilians casually fondle each other, get all dozy, and fall asleep. Modern Turkey was founded in 1923 on the principles of secular, democratic statehood after centuries of empire.
It has been the most turbulent year in a decade of Turkey's political history.
Turkey has set a new course, one that many hoped would carry it into the European Union.
There's clearly a significant portion of the Turkish population that's not happy with the policies of the democratically elected government.
But things have changed. They are changing.
You get clashes erupting, demonstrators throwing rocks.
And what happens next has implications far beyond Turkey.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la la la la, sha la la la la la, sha la la la la, sha la la la la la.
It has been a turbulent year for Turkey. And I arrive in Istanbul at the moment of a critical election. The question on everyone's mind is whether the current president and his ruling party will win a large enough majority to change the constitution, potentially allowing him to stay in power indefinitely. These have been good times for some, particularly in the construction and development business, and fearful ones for others. They are particularly concerned about what happens next, for instance, in the Kurdish parts of town.
Polls are open in Turkey as voters choose a new parliament, which could lead to big changes in the country's political system.
The ruling Justice and Development Party is expected to take most of the seats.
But how much power the president actually has will be determined by the success or failure of the Kurdish party.
The HDP, originally a Kurdish political party, has sought to unite the disparate voices calling for change in response to 13 years of what has essentially been one-party rule by the AKP. So, history, whatever it might be, is about to happen.
Just in the past hour, polls have closed in the country's parliamentary elections.
Voters in Turkey have just shaken up their country's political landscape in a major way. They said no to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his push for more power over the constitution.
The ruling AKP party did not win the majority its president had hoped for. In fact, they lost seats in parliament. And for the first time, the pro-Kurdish party gained enough votes to earn a real voice in the government.
We are at the very tip of Istanbul, next to the Black Sea. So the ships that are going by here, they're basically going to Russia.
I meet an old friend, Esra, for my first meal back in country.
I know you like your fish with the head and the tail.
So this is perfect.
I ordered some rakı.
Oh, makes me so happy.
Yes, which is our national drink. It is aniseed and...
I am familiar with this drink, all too familiar. Cheers.
Welcome back.
So, since I last saw you, which was 2009. 2009, wow, a long time ago. So Istanbul looks a little different than last time I was here. It looks a little more like every other city.
Yeah. Well, construction.
There seems to be a lot of that going on.
Yes.
Your president likes to build stuff. He likes to pour
It keeps
concrete.
the economy going. Turkey is so much politicized since the last time you came. Like, after 2011, the daily life issues like how many children you should have, advising women not to laugh out loud in public, things like this were actually suggested by the government.
Right. Now, do you think this is coming from a genuine ideological, religious place, or is this a political calculation?
I think it's a genuine...
You're telling me that the current leadership is, in his heart, is genuinely opposed to alcohol, women laughing in public?
Maybe I don't feel comfortable answering that question.
Turkey's most famous politician, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. He is the power, and has been the power in one form or another for more than a decade. He is the face of Turkey's ruling Justice and Development Party, the AKP. Erdogan has in recent years made Islamist politics mainstream, and while remaining very, very popular in this extremely polarized nation, cracked down hard on media, political opposition, free speech, and of course, demonstrations. In 2013, the almost revolution in Turkey happened. A protest to contest the proposed demolition of Istanbul's Gezi Park resulted in a brutal crackdown by the police. In response, ordinary Turks, unconnected by any particular ideology, poured into the streets. With the whole world watching on social media, they too were met with force. In the end, Erdogan remained firmly in control, and there were repercussions for many who had supported the protest. From that point on, media, social media, even open discussion of issues or events became treated as hostile acts by foreign enemies. Autocrats in general are not famous for their sense of humor. So it's no surprise that comedians in Turkey, like Denise and her fiancé Kaan, walk a perilous line.
Are these good times to be a comedian in Turkey?
It's definitely one of the best times because our former prime minister is my support for living.
We don't use the names, we just call him the greatness or, you know.
I guess they are running finals.
The finals.
Yeah.
But all weight classes. But it's basically Greco-Roman wrestling. Just they're greased up. As I understand it, you can't choke with two hands, only one.
Yes.
But you can just slip your hand
right down into some greasy ass crack.
and grab whatever.
That's okay.
You find.
Tell me something. I want to know what are the rules of the game.
Turkish oil wrestling. A big freaking salad covered with oiled men in leather pants giving each other spirited and prolonged reach-arounds. Oh, geez. Can we get rights to the Barry White Greatest Hits record or Diana Ross Love Hangover? Or is that too obvious?
I like to be respectful of ancient tradition, but I mean, the jokes write themselves. And they have what? There's like ropes inside or handles or... Where do I get a pair of those pants? Those are some super freaky pants.
And did you see the golden belt? It's good too.
Well, look, it's gotta be, because I mean, the pants are awesome. Imagine
Yes.
what the belt looks like.
Yes.
Allah Allah! İllallah! Muhammedur Resulallah! Hoş pehlivanlarımıza!
Does he stop yelling at some point?
Coşkuyla alkışlıyor, hoş geldin diyoruz kendilerine.
The announcer called Jazgır.
Yeah.
And in slang, Jazgır means the person who talks too much.
Benim mimarı,
It's too loud.
güreşlerimizin tertip komite başkanı.
It's time for political ads.
Coşkulu alkışlarınızla her meydana davet ediyorum.
What's changed since your last visit?
Obviously, the mood has changed a lot, which is weird because everything seemed to be going so well. Things seem to be getting more tolerant.
Tolerance level is so low these days. People taking sides, don't like the other one. These people don't like our kind.
So what happens if someone doesn't like your joke? Somebody in a powerful position does not like your comedy. What happens?
Depending on the degree, how much he doesn't like you, how much he's offended.
Let's say he's really offended.
You go to jail for being, you know, terrorist or
Aiding and abetting the enemies of the state.
yes, enemy of the state. Being an enemy of the state is the most common thing you can do right now in Turkey.
Koşa koşa görmüş olduğunuz yer meydanda kimse kalmasın arkadaşlar. Güvenlik. Barış pehlivanlık müsabakalarında Naci arkadaşım lütfen.
They are asking for more oil.
More oil,
More oil,
and
like-
immediately.
Abdullah Güngör, Samsun Lanet. Büyükşehir Belediyesi'nin pehlivanı Fatih Bakır, İstanbul.
Building boom or building bubble? Architect and city planner Murat German has been capturing Istanbul's construction boom with his camera. He employs a unique method of compressing panoramas to create a striking reimagining of cityscapes, reflecting perhaps more of the reality than a straight photo could.
I've been following what's happening in Istanbul because it's my hometown. And what's happening is that the new government is basing the supposedly booming economy totally on construction. So what they did is they started to build high-rise housing, shopping malls and roads and all that, but not necessarily buildings that are related to the making of culture. So all this construction is related to consumption.
Well, are these spaces needed at whatever income level? Will somebody be living in these buildings?
That's a very good question. I'm asking the same question.
First things first.
Yeah.
We'll save the world later.
This is pide, by the way.
Yes.
And it's like the Turkish version of pizza, let's say.
Pide has some similarities. I mean, there's cheese in it, dough, but it's more like a calzone, maybe. I don't know. It's an efficient delivery vehicle for, in this case, ground meat, cheese, and onions. A not-so-little torpedo straight from, I was gonna say Flavour Town, but no, that would be wrong.
I want to see what you do with this. I want to see how you eat this. And what do you do with that? Will you dip in the egg? Pour it in? Or?
Yeah, exactly. This is cholesterol bomb, we call it.
There's a remarkable lack of sentimentality about really one of the most uniquely glorious looking spaces anywhere. Why don't they care?
I agree. There's a lack of sentimentality, and there's also a lack of vision, I believe, long-term vision. We have very short-term visions, mostly based on money-making.
When people look at the work you do set in Istanbul, what do you want them to see?
First of all, I really value the sustainability of a particular culture. I want my work to show, hey, look, this is what we had. I think we are already losing it, so why don't we stop here and maybe consider doing something else?
Perşembe Pazarı, long home to tradesmen, Greeks, Jews, and Armenians. Groups whose populations are these days a tiny fraction of what they once were. This neighborhood, like many in Istanbul, is slated for redevelopment in the name of urban renewal.
Wow. Oh, look at that. It's a lot of food.
Cesar and his family have been running a restaurant here for nearly 20 years.
The way that we make the food, it's our own language. That's the whole idea about it.
So, the family's Armenian?
Yes.
Is the food Armenian?
This is my mom's food. Whatever we eat at home.
Authentic esnafs, or tradesmen's restaurants, are getting harder and harder to find. Most are family-owned businesses, the kind of place where you can get a classic, home-style meal of traditional dishes.
You're clearly romantic. Do you think there's a place in modern Istanbul for romantics? Or will they slowly be crushed by modernity?
Almost all the protesters, they were in that Gezi. They were romantics. They killed those people. They used real guns, but they will still continue to protest, nothing else.
So, what's the future of Armenians in Turkey? Will there be more Armenians in Istanbul in 20 years or fewer?
Of course, it will be less.
Less?
Yeah. Yes.
This turn towards a more conservative, more Islamist, is this a political calculation, or do you think this is genuinely how people feel now?
It's the way that people feel now. Because of the way that our dear president, the way that he talks, it's not only a political issue, it's the reality itself. I don't know what he has in mind, our president, but somehow he let people fight with, hate. But I believe that hate will be, it will make our end soon. That's what I'm afraid of. That's why I'm telling you that young generation, Armenians, they will definitely leave this country.
Wow. I hope you're wrong. I'm not really an optimistic person, but I hope you're wrong about Istanbul because it's an amazing place.
I hope you will be the one who's right.
Allah, give me help and not crash my car. Not today, maybe tomorrow. I have to pass this bus. If I don't pass this bus, no!
It is a long-held belief that if you want to know the real deal, what's really good about a town,
What a life.
if you want to know where to find the good stuff, you ask a cab driver.
Özcan bak oğlum bak. Sen de çık televizyona. I don't know, wrong way, right way, life is life, wife is wife, take it easy.
I don't know if that's true. Not in my town, anyway. But in Istanbul, I know a cab driver. My old friend, Ihsan.
Hello, my friend. Good to see you, my
After
brother.
all those years, to meet you again.
What a coincidence.
What nice. I love that.
How are things in Istanbul? It looks very different. They're building stuff everywhere.
I don't know what happened, but a lot of hotel, a lot of shopping center open, more restaurant open, more disco open.
More discos.
More disco.
But I thought this is a conservative government.
Government conservative, but people, and they have to shake, they have to drink. Life too short. Abicim bura olmaz ki oğlum, yolun ortasındasınız ya. Manyak mısın lan? Most people ask me, did you make any accident? And I say, yes, I killed 2 people, 3 people, hospital. And when I pass cemetery, I say, this is Ihsan's section. They are scaring. Really? How can you ask the taxi driver, did you make any accident?
Right.
Again, we cross the Galata Bridge. I love here. Look at this city here. Santa Sofia there, Topkapı Palace there, New Mosque, Süleymaniye, Golden Horn. I love this city. Yee-hoo! Come on, everybody! Ihsan has got crazy! Taxi driver is nice job. I love this job because you meet every time new people.
Right.
And on the way, you never get upset.
Right.
Basır! Ankara gücü! Lan kim tutar seni? Bir daha kamerayı nerede bulayım oğlum ben? Haklısın yavrum. Aslanlar gibiyim bugün, neşeliyim. I wish I dance, but I dance belly dance. What am I? Come on. Ah! Everybody say this not normal. I study about Ottoman, how to read, learning Ottoman languages. When you ask why Ihsan to learn this, because I want to read history, original.
Right. Probably not while driving, though.
Yeah, but I'm not driving, but the traffic already stopped. Allah'ım ya Rabbi ya. If I talk too much and you're boring and I go. Take another taxi because I talk too much. Arkadaşlar ben buradayım. This is my home area.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
You live in this neighborhood.
Yeah, we call this area Lokanta.
So this is a local favorite of yours, this restaurant?
This restaurant I know since 30 years.
So it's cow foot, tripes.
Tripes.
Very nice. That looks good. Man, this is just delicious. Are the young people more conservative or less conservative?
My daughter married, religious person, and she has a scarf. Another daughter, young and 18 years old, short and modern. They walk together. One is scarf, one is not.
Right.
Maybe one day you invite me to America and I will be making
Done.
belly dance on the American main road,
Ah.
shaking my body.
I think probably get arrested for that.
The voice of Istanbul. I've had at least 30 names from New Rome to Istanbul. Now they say I'm between the East and the West, an identity crisis. Mine or theirs? Enough of this nonsense. Take the labels off and just look at me. You won't need a guidebook. Like all cities, I have my own sense of time. I'm a labyrinth of layers that only makes sense without a compass. If you're hesitant, not sure which way to go as you walk about, follow one of my cats. They would lead you to places, introduce you to people, point out secrets they keep even from me. They, more than anyone, are the longest continuing residents of the city. A challenge to those who see the future in my past. I'm an obstacle for those who see only the future. I see change with the patience of centuries. Look at my silhouette from the bridge on the Golden Horn. Time has not passed me by. It has protected me. I ask of you the same.
An hour ferry ride and a world away are the Prince's Islands in the Sea of Marmara. Gündüz Vasaf and his friend Seyra Yilmaz have invited me for lunch.
Actor, translator, philosopher, poet. Are these good times to be a poet in Turkey?
It is actually, because it's a way to bring down the noise, in a way. Because so much words are exchanged, especially in heated political discussions.
I have become very used to and fond of this drink, by the way. Maybe too used to it and too fond of it.
They used to call it lion's milk. And a famous Turkish poet is known for saying, "I wish I could be a fish in a bottle of rakı."
Seyra prepares a traditional spread of meze. Turkish meze are an extremely tasty, very diverse assortment of dishes originating in every corner of the former Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans liked to eat and entertain, and they employed armies of cooks to dazzle them with ever-changing menus, variety being key. Circassian chicken, fava beans, rice with mussels, eggplant, stuffed grape leaves, poached eggs with yogurt, all classic and all delicious.
What shall I give you? A few of everything.
Yes, please.
Yes. I'll put some, or maybe I could give you some chicken already.
Make room for that, I think. Here we go. Wow, it's really pretty. Am I getting a distorted picture of Turkey by spending all of my time in Istanbul? It's very different than the rest of the country, yeah? How different?
But I think in Istanbul you have all the different parts of Turkey also.
What does it mean to be Turkish? What do you think?
Seyra, are you Turkish?
Yes, but it's not my fault.
Man, this is so, let me say, this food is extraordinary. I mean, really, really, really amazing. But when I was here last, it was a very different mood. Now, at least, the tenor of
the things said by the government are increasingly ugly and intolerant. And you've got this social activism that's very unusual. Certainly the government is sort of appealing to traditional Islamic values. Whether it's for show or not, there seems to be some reevaluation of how much of a party town do we want to be.
These days, the powers that be don't like it. And
do they genuinely not like it, or are they appealing to a political base?
no, it's populism, it's a political base. And lots of people, of course, play along, saying that they don't want to drink, etc., because that's the way you get your contracts, that's the way you get things done.
But I mean, nationalism seems to be working internally.
Yes.
Nationalism and xenophobia, it's a vote getter almost anywhere.
Well, it's a vote getter, but it's a vote loser as well, in the sense that there's so much backlash.
What do you think's going to happen?
It'll get back to normal.
Do you think it'll go back?
Oh, yeah.
Walking down Istanbul streets, it's easy to forget or not take seriously the slow but certain change in attitude towards this kind of freedom. The right, for lack of a better term, to party. The AKP is in power because a majority of voters put them there. Their attitudes, for better or worse, reflect the attitudes of a great number of Turks.
All right, now.
This is Nuri, a Turkish businessman.
I'm glad we met you because you are an AKP supporter. You vote for AKP.
Yeah, I did.
Right. Why?
Before, economy was so bad. No foreign investment. Interest rates were so high. Inflation was about 100% per year. So it's very hard to make business in such circumstances. In 2002, I had 70 employees. Now it's 250.
Since I got here, I've been talking to a lot of people who are very upset about the environment. They're upset about the destruction of old, beautiful buildings. To a great extent, they do not like what much of the world would call progress. So when you saw people running out in the streets and demonstrating, what was your feeling?
They said they went there for the trees. They went there for the environment. But at the end, they were together with the terrorist people. We have to accept Istanbul like this. We got nothing to do. I cannot change it. No one can change it.
No going back.
50 years ago, they could do some things, but not now.
You're not sentimental about the old neighborhoods, the old...
No. I got used to it.
This is a party town. This is a nightclub town. The impression is that there's some ambivalence there. 10 years from now, will we be able to come to this bar or a bar like it and drink lots of gin drinks and misbehave? No problem.
No problem, I think. It's still a party town.
Right.
We drink hard.
So it's all about money.
It's all about money. Everything is all about money in the world.
Who will be Turkey's bestest pal internationally? Which way are they looking, to the east or the west?
East, Russia, China, Iran, and the Arabic countries, because West, Europe, is getting weaker and weaker day by day. The next 50 years, it's going to be the era of the East, not the West.
So these notions of like freedom of the press, these are not Eastern concepts.
No.
No, I mean, they're not.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a tough question. Is freedom of the press overrated?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's overrated.
You think tightening up on the press is a sacrifice that you're willing to make for a good economy? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but prosperity for the majority.
Yeah, it is. It's the same all over the world. It's not typical for Turkey.
Right.
That's life.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, this is a really bad idea. Okay. Cheers. Na zdrowie.
Zdrowie.
Hey! Fazla şeyleri kaldı. Hi.
Esra, of course. Good to see
Welcome
you.
to our park.
Oh, man. I'm glad I haven't eaten yet. That is pretty awesome looking.
So have you ever had Turkish breakfast before?
With you. I love that you even do eggs in the park. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. This place is called Al Park. It's one of the last remaining parks in the vicinity. Since 2013, people have been gathering here in what we call forums to talk about their ideas for different, how can I say?
Debates, chats, different people gathering here at night after work and then talking, trying to find solutions, right?
We didn't have any other place to go, so we came here.
Why is it so important?
I think it's not just for us, for future residents of Istanbul, right?
This space turned into a space of politics, a space of hope against this system, which seems to be like impossible to break, actually.
Is it impossible to break?
No, not now.
It was impossible a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago it was impossible. So you're feeling optimistic.
The hope is the revolution, you know? If you lose your hope, then there's nothing to do.
I think the tide is turning.
But for the, if we compare Arab Spring and Gezi Park things, I mean, in the Arab Spring, they are protesting against a dictatorship. But in Turkey, I think we can say that there is democracy.
Esra and her friends, previously unlikely to have known, much less come to like one another, were brought together by circumstances.
Have you been gassed?
Not that much, but yeah.
By gas, are you talking about pollution?
But I also...
Tear gas.
Oh, tear gas.
When you are getting gas together, you really connect through life or death situations. You hold each other and run away together. It was a very actually emotional thing for me. Because all my life I was taught to keep away from different types of people. Like I never had a Kurdish friend. I never had people around me were all like me. And I was lacking so much richness in my life. Thanks to Gezi, I saw everybody is the same.
People learned the real democracy in Gezi. People learned to speak without
like
prejudices.
Tear gas connecting people.
Tear gas connecting people.
When you just run away together.
Democracy is always a fragile thing. 92 years ago, modern Turkey was assembled from the fragments of the Ottoman Empire. It has always struggled to find a balance between those in power and the consent of its widely diverse population. Since the filming of this episode, Turkey's newly elected parliament failed to form a coalition, and President Erdogan quickly called for new elections. At the same time, he's revved up military action against Kurdish opposition forces in both southeastern Turkey and across the border in Kurdish Iraq. Many claim that he effectively plunged Turkey into conflict in a bid to take advantage of an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty and improve his party's chances of success. This is not an unreasonable assumption on anyone's part. Fear works. Fear gets votes. The opposition had hoped that the tide was turning. It remains to be seen if they have any reason to hope.
took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la.
I drink up me rum and me tumble down. Me no want no gal come tingle me.
Nearly a year on the road, all those miles, all those airports, infinite variety of awful plumbing. It was time for something low impact. So off to Jamaica.
I me no want no gal come tingle me.
This is the first time I've ever driven a car on a wrong side of the road. I mean, knowingly. How hard could it be? Oh, I get the pass on the right, too. Woo-hoo-hoo. Thankfully, we have a roll bar.
But this time, a different angle. You probably know of Jamaica as a vacation paradise. But it's worth mentioning this is a divided country and has been in one form or another since the days of slavery. There's a small minority who control most everything, and then there's the poorer, generally darker-skinned majority, less connected, left out. Jamaican cuisine, a lot of it, still reflects this conflicted history. Breadfruit, saltfish, This was slave food, cheap, long-lasting filling, introduced basically as feed.
Bar, iron bar, and me no want no girl come a finger it.
Day one, first order of business, get my, some jerk chicken. Can you blame me? No, I think not. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I know this routine. Believe me. It's brown, it's murky, and it burns, Mommy. It burns.
And there are still, all these years later, 2 Jamaicas. There's the Jamaica that most Jamaicans live in, cook in, struggle to survive in. The real Jamaica. Then there's the Jamaica which you're probably more familiar with. But tourists have been coming to Jamaica for a long time, when this part of the island, particularly Port Antonio, threatened to become an international jet-set destination. Local legend has it that Errol Flynn was shipwrecked here on his yacht in 1947 and promptly fell in love with the place. Before Flynn, it had been an empire of bananas, a huge industry that later became United Fruit. Bananas went out, tourists came in. The banana business eventually went elsewhere, and when tourism shifted to the other side of the island with the construction of an airport at Montego Bay, well, that was pretty much it. The northeast coast was largely forgotten. It has the feel, still, of a forgotten paradise. There are those who believe that the area can come back, that it must come back, that the future is in hotels and resorts and restaurants for wealthy visitors, as it once was. Take this place, for instance. The Trident Hotel. Expensive, luxurious. Best of all, I'm the only guest. Oh, did I mention it comes with a castle? What kind of person would own a building like that? Who? Why? Then, this man arrived and kind of answered that question. All of this belongs to Michael Lee Chin, local boy turned billionaire, one of the richest men in the world, and my host. He's invited me for dinner.
That's some rum before we do some crabbing, yeah?
Right, yeah, that sounds like a plan.
But first, we need crabs for that dinner, I'm told. Caught in the traditional style. A drink is in order.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Respect. Crabbing.
Crabbing.
Respect.
A lot of crab holes.
This time of year, Port Antonio is literally crawling with crabs, I'm told. It'll be really easy. Just scoop up the little bastards and then it's back to the pool.
You haven't seen any, right?
Now I'm looking. I'll lunge at him.
It's hot. I think it's that rum, you know.
It's really thick in the bush, you know?
It's sweltering, freaking hot, and dark.
You find something?
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
But it doesn't seem to bother the hotel chefs who willingly risk dismemberment for the sake of procuring a tasty dinner.
We want him alive. We have questions to ask him. Where are your friends?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
One crab down, 49 left to go.
With the help of Tony, we're gonna get some more tonight, so.
I'm frankly anxious to get this over with, so when the opportunity arises to stick my paw down into a hole where there's probably a pissed-off crab looking to clamp down on my pinky with his pincers, I could care less.
Nothing. No, nobody home.
Oh, Hans. Ah, damn it. I think I stepped in the ant nest.
Are those fire ants? Wonderful. Please attack my nutsack. Anything to get this over with quicker.
Ah, he's running. Hey, man. Okay, I don't want to kill the little guy.
That's it right there. Right and left, right and left. Whoa.
Yeah.
Expert.
Nice one.
Next. What seems like several sweltering hours later, it's mission accomplished, and it's back to home base and time to get ready for dinner at the castle, followed by a party, I'm told.
Do you recognize these, Tony?
I put this guy in a bag tonight.
I'm joined by billionaire Michael, his partner John Baker, music producer and hotelier, John's wife Nordia, Errol Flynn's grandson Luke Flynn, and his wife Sky.
You grew up in this
Yes.
in this area. What was Port Antonio like in the 50s?
Port Antonio was, it was vibrant, banana, lots of wealthy tourists. So Port Antonio was a happening place.
You're a man with a diverse financial interests. Banks, communications. As a veteran of 30 years in the hospitality business, why? Why would you do such a hard and probably unprofitable thing? I mean, usually unprofitable.
You're being very kind.
It's a really business, generally speaking.
Well, I thought you're smart, I thought you're brilliant, but your behavior shows that you're dumb.
No, I know the answer. Are you a romantic?
Great things will happen when you romanticize, you dream, you aspire, you see a vision, and you set out to achieve that vision. Trident is here to catalyze people to come to Port Antonio and discover wow, wow, and wow again.
Where does it cross over? Where all of the things you love about this area, where all of the villas are spanking new, and people are building 400-room hotels, is there a threshold where things start to not be the things that you loved about the place in the first place, and how do you guard against that?
You know, Tony, Port Antonio is a long way from getting there. It has not progressed out of the 50s.
It's had very little tourism in recent years.
Why isn't there lots of... Everybody loves reggae. Everybody loves Bob Marley. Everybody loves spicy, delicious Jamaican food. What's the problem?
Because you don't get off a plane and go 100 yards to an all-inclusive. There's no rule lift here. You have to get here.
It's that simple?
It's as simple as a lift, and it's as simple as we're shrouded by the Blue Mountains, and it's an effort to get here. So it filters out certain forms of travelers. So we have to make it a little bit easier to get people.
You get beat out by a lot of lame islands, let's face it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And even in Jamaica, lamer areas. For me, I say if someone says, oh, I've been to Jamaica, and they haven't been to Port Antonio, I'm like, well, really, you didn't get a real feeling of Jamaica.
You can't go many places in the world and find natural beauty. People who are genuinely warm, where there's a strong culture of food, strong culture in terms of music, and at the same time, be able to be a part of a community, and you can be a visitor without
being a part of the tourist industry.
Hello.
During World War II, British naval intelligence officer Ian Fleming came to Jamaica on a secret mission to investigate possible U-boat activity. Like the legendary character he would later create, he was a spy. The mission came to nothing, but Fleming fell immediately in love with the island and vowed to return, which he did, buying this place, GoldenEye. At the time considered very Spartan, a cottage, a single room really, a few smaller rooms in the back, but an incredible view. He spent much of the rest of his life here writing a book each year at this desk. You know those books. Today, Fleming's cottage has been enlarged and made more luxurious as a hotel, but the original house still stands, along with some improvements. Grotto, eh?
What did every young American boy want? Every red-blooded American male born in 1956. I can tell you, they wanted a grotto. It sounded pretty good to me at 12. As I got older, I started to think about these things, like exactly who was in that grotto before me becomes more of a concern as you grow up. It's like, did Ron Jeremy just leave the grotto? Am I the first one in the grotto? Has someone changed the water in the grotto? These were concerns later in life, but this was it. I wanted a grotto. I still kind of do. Thank you so much. This is totally better than the Playboy Mansion. You know that the Playboy Mansion totally smells like old man ear stink.
The current owner of GoldenEye is another unusual man, Chris Blackwell, legendary music producer turned hotelier. Over the years, Blackwell has expanded the property into a resort, its gates reaching right up to the fishing beach at neighboring Orcabessa. Blackwell has big plans for the area. The next day I leave GoldenEye's luxurious embrace, headed into town for something, well, I just had to have. A long-time favorite.
What do we have here? Oh, oxtail.
Yeah, man, curry goat.
Oh, sweet.
I don't care whether it's the Bronx or Kingston or wherever I can get it. Oxtail, curried goat, callaloo, and of course, rice and pigeon peas. Got to have that.
Man, I love the food in this country.
Man, it's the best.
It's such a mix.
Asian,
African. A lot of people totally miss out. I mean, curry goat,
yeah, man. It's Asian
that comes
stuff.
from the East Indies, what they used to call it.
That's true.
Chef Chris's cook shop has become something of a local institution, a thriving business in a town that's seen better days.
How long you been open here?
I've been opening this little shop for 13 years.
13 years?
Yeah, man.
The town changed in that time or stayed the same?
Well, right now, you know, our economy is not doing so good right now, so.
Why not? It's one of the most beautiful areas in the world.
Yeah, for real. We have a beautiful waterfront.
Beautiful weather.
Yeah, beautiful
Fantastic
ladies.
food.
Yeah, what more could I ask for?
What do you think went wrong? I mean, why would people stop coming?
I guess the guys in the top seat messed it up, so they're trying to correct it now, you know?
It's expanding fast.
Yeah, it is.
The town.
It
And
is.
they're going to be building all the way.
Yeah, all the way down there.
All the way around.
Yeah, so.
So that's thousands of tourists.
Yeah, thousands
right,
of
probably.
tourists. To be honest, I'm waiting for that moment. I don't want to think. We really need that, you know, because this town was dying fast and real fast. So Chris Blackwell came back and now he's booming the town. So it's a good step in the right direction.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. See, now I'm happy. That is just beautiful. Nice place to grow up?
It is.
What's it like being a kid?
My childhood days, I used to spend it at the beach.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Who gets to do that?
Well, I guess only me and my friends.
But I mean, do you ever take it for granted? Like, do you ever get?
Yeah, we do.
We do?
We do. See, the thing about it, when we really need it, that's the time we can't have it, you know? Because a lot of our waterfronts have been gone, you know? We have very little right now. You know, it's okay. We have James Bond Beach like 10 minutes walk from here also, so at least we're one of the lucky ones.
It's inevitable, of course, that next door to GoldenEye, there would be a James Bond beach.
All of the Bond movies were conceptualized and written here.
When Blackwell heard I wanted to visit the local fishermen, he hooked me up with his good friend Carl to accompany me. I'm here to hit Dr. Ho's, a local rum bar where one can indulge in a typical hard-working fisherman's breakfast. Rum.
So we drinking rum here? We drinking beer? We drinking rum and beer?
Well, I know. It's hardcore.
But you're recommending just like some beer and some rum together?
No, the steel bottom now.
Steel bottom.
All right. Steel bottom now, right? We're going to do 1 part of rum.
Yep.
Right, and 4 parts of beer. No water, no ice. Try that. It's a steel bottom, meaning it's non.
It's good.
Yeah.
It'll work.
And you could take it to your dimension.
So who fishes here? You fish?
Yeah.
What are you fishing for?
Hold on, let me get. It's multiple fishing.
Right.
Which will be your snapper, your parrot, your grunt.
Exactly. Right. So is business better these days or worse these days?
Okay.
Worse. Right.
So overfishing is a problem.
Orcabessa is a fishing village, for now at least. All throughout the Caribbean, fish stocks are in decline, and making a living from the sea is getting harder and harder.
So right here, it's actually become a fishing sanctuary. We're trying to now revive the fish stock around the island.
So if this becomes a protected sanctuary, what are you going to do for it?
Yeah, so they have to go further out to sea for deep sea fishing.
That means more gas?
More gas, more economic condition, less fish. So it's a strain, right?
Is there a future for the traditional fishing industry in Jamaica, or do you think, like every place else in the Caribbean, is it going to end up an entirely tourist economy?
It's going to belong to the tourists.
This
place here, because I can tell you something. I live just off the road, lovely spot, which is on the coast, just like Chris Blackwell, and they're going to tell me that I cannot fish in there.
But what is happening now?
Here's what I'm kind of getting at. Rich people want to live what they see as a simple life. In their minds, they want to live the life of a Jamaican fisherman. So they want to live the life of somebody who doesn't have a lot of money. But the people who actually do that now are giving up their living and essentially entering the tourist sector. There's a certain amount of weird irony at work here. Who gets to live in paradise?
Nobody. Because guess what?
You got a point. And I'd like to clear up the point what you have, right? There's a lot of things going on here, right? I read a piece of paper a couple months ago that's going on down here, right? The native here don't have no beach in a few months' time.
This architect's model sits in one of GoldenEye's offices, showing what Orocabesa's coastline will look like if all goes according to plan.
They're gonna have an ID to come inside here.
We don't care about truth, man. We kill people for truth.
No, I'm telling the truth.
I'm no expert on local politics, but whatever is going on here has clearly stirred up some strong emotions.
See the street here? That street is a school kid. I had to go to school. They also want to own that. Yeah, man, that's true. That's true. It's true.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I'm talking.
Hold on.
Wait a minute, Chris.
Yo, just stop talk.
Hold on.
Mr. Stop bomb clock talk, my brethren. Mr. Stop talk, my brethren. I don't want to hear no more of that. Just cool down, man. Just stop talk. Stop talk.
We gotta talk real.
Oi, big man, stop talk.
Why?
Come here.
Come on, time interview.
Yeah.
Sit down.
No, go back.
Don't do that.
Go sit down. No. To all the program work, you see me? We just kick back and cool.
All right, sit down.
We can't expose yourself. See me?
Which is better? To be your own man, uphold family tradition in a dangerous, ever-shrinking, ever more difficult business, trying to catch fish in the sea, or carry a golf bag for a wealthy tourist? I couldn't tell you. I was in the service industry cooking people's food for most of my working life, so it's not like I have anything against it, but I don't know.
It's a joyous day. Let us find the spirit in man and travel to the unknown. I think because we are here in the present, that it had just started. This is coming way out of the unknown, out of the nothingness. And we are going to go on into the information area, into the celestial. We are what it called astral travelers. So we travel from dimension to dimension. If one man die, all man dead. And if one man live, all man live. Tolerance. One dog, one fowl, one cow, one puss, one moon, one sun. It has to be multi-purpose in order to sustain energy and life. Say a black, blue, green, pink, yellow, river, sea, mountain, bird, dog, puss, man. Everything is from the non-such. Everything is related. The car, the money, everything is connected to the universe. So if we as a human person does not realize how vulnerable we are within the changes of time, and the earth will not disappear, my brethren. It's I and I.
Who gets to live in paradise? It's Jamaica. Let's accept as a basic premise that this is about as close to paradise as it gets, right? This place I'm staying was built by a guy who lived here 2 months out of the year. That place down there, probably the same, 2 months a year. Sad to say, I think it's unlikely that 50 years from now, anyone but the extraordinarily fortunate, the extraordinarily connected, and the extraordinarily rich will be able to even look at a vista like this. That is my personal theory. Look, here I am, fully aware of the irony of this situation. It's like the whole preservation thing. Who preserve for who? Save the reef, for who? Save the beach, for whom? Not you, probably.
Later that evening, Blackwell invited me to his private bar, just down the cliff from Fleming's old villa.
There are very few pieces of land anywhere on Earth like this, especially with this kind of legendary status.
Legendary status, yes. It's Fleming, it's really Bond's birthplace.
Chris Blackwell is the founder of Island Records. He's credited with discovering Bob Marley and spreading the gospel of reggae into the mainstream all across the world.
To the extent that one person can sort of be responsible for the soundtrack of your life, you are responsible for much of the soundtrack of my life. You signed Roxy Music and Brian Eno, both, yes?
Yes.
Did you have any idea, signing Bob Marley, the extent to which his image alone would blow up to Che Guevara level?
But Bob somehow managed to touch people in every corner of the world, in different cultures, different societies. No, I never could have imagined. I don't think anybody could have imagined. It's so unbelievable.
Having sold Island Records for a sum rumored to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars, Blackwell spends his time, well, doing whatever he wants.
You have a number of hotel properties, rum business. What's the master plan? Or are you just having fun?
Well, always is to have fun. That's part of the master plan. You only live around here one time, so I'm very excited about here, what I'm doing here. I'm trying to break a little resort town. It's something that filters into the town, filters into the parish, filters into the country.
Lately, the project at hand is the Oracabessa Fish Sanctuary, set up to protect the local fish habitat and breeding grounds. A noble cause, but one that has put Blackwell squarely at odds with some of his neighbors.
It seems to me that most people who come to Jamaica pretty much stay within the compound, sandals or whatever, and don't really get out there much.
It's a business model, and that business model works well for people. The market that I'm going for are the ones on the high level, in terms of a high cost level.
Is it an inevitability that basically all of the Caribbean, that it's essentially going to end up as a service economy?
Yes, I think mainly so, and then it's based on tourism. It's based on people visiting.
It's a tough balance. The engine that's going to preserve or save is often dependent on who's coming to look and what they're willing to pay to come and look. Can there be a balance, do you think? I mean, can a place this beautiful be unspoiled forever?
I think there could be a couple hundred places like this in Jamaica. As long as there are people who can go and spend some money in communities, go to a little restaurant, go to a little bar, go to, shop, that's essential for Jamaica to really thrive.
If life were a Bond film, who would you be in a Bond film?
Well, there's only one hero in a Bond film. That's
Oh, you'd be the hero?
I'd have to figure that out, yes.
I don't know whether I'd be the villain. I'd be like number 17.
He has an unhappy end.
Yes.
And his end is
frequently.
quite short, yeah.
What we're all looking for, isn't it? The perfect beach. Remote, uncluttered by douchery, cold local beer. The perfect end to a long and, well, bumpy road. Winifred's Beach is that beach. Mostly locals, a few clued-in visitors, white sand, clear, warm water. And of course, local food.
This is ackee, Jamaica favorite dish. Typically Jamaica, we use it as a breakfast.
Cynthia and Dennis run this place and come highly recommended. I'm told this is the spot for the classic, gotta have it or you ain't really been to Jamaica, ackee and saltfish. Salt cod, rehydrated and cooked with ackee, a local fruit that happens to be toxic if you don't handle it right.
Now they say best ackee and saltfish
in Jamaica.
Anywhere.
And yeah, also some banana.
Delicious.
That is delicious.
Yeah.
Cynthia's friends Joy and Marjorie also have little restaurants or food stalls on the beach, and they tell me that here too it's in danger of redevelopment, that all this might disappear into the ever-churning wheel of, well,
Winifred Beach is a public beach. It has been one of the best beaches in Jamaica. The beach was left to give the poor people of Jamaica.
So the government takes it over supposedly to make it a public space, but they want to sell it to a hotel group?
Yeah, they want to make like a resort.
There are a lot of islands in the Caribbean where you're not allowed to own a beach, meaning all beaches are public. Even if it's a really exclusive hotel, at least theoretically, anybody can go.
Right.
Here it's different. Here, if you can buy a house and the beach, you can. If you're a hotel, you can make it a private beach, meaning they don't let the locals on or vendors or anything. They can keep people out.
Right.
So how many public access beaches are there in this area? Just one.
This one.
And that's it.
No more. I think beach. We have other beaches around, you know. We have like Blue Lagoon, which is a private beach. Dragon Bay, private. And Sansan is private. So this is the only public one, you know?
Yeah, what happens if, I mean, that would be sort of ridiculous if Jamaicans can't go to the beach in Jamaica.
Exactly.
There are two sides to every story, of course, and the government, for its part, claims locals will still have access to their beach.
We don't trust them, so we do not believe what they said.
They want to get us off, and like 6, 7 years, they don't do anything on it and close it off.
Right. What kind of monstrous human being or organization would displace the people from their own beach?
From our freedom. If they take this away from us, we would like we are in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when the time is hot, we would have nowhere to come and swim.
So we the people, we are in court with the government because we do not want them to take away the one and only beach that we have in Jamaica, Portland.
What do you think your chances are? You think your chances are good?
Yes.
You're gonna win?
Yes. I've been fighting over 7 years.
Trust in the Lord.
7 years?
7 years. And I said I'm gonna fight until I reach the top. If when I reach the top and I lose, I feel much better. But I'm not giving up.
Let's face it, there are only so many beaches in this world. Even fewer unspoiled beaches, and even fewer beaches like this.
I mean, that's one of the things that's nice about this area is it's not a big resort area like some of the other parts. And the food is amazing.
Right. Yeah, we do cook nice food.
You can't get this at the hotel.
They get it, but not like this.
Not so fresh.
Really, really, really tasty. I'm gonna have to come back here like tomorrow.
Whenever people come here and they have problem, they go to the sea and they look over there in the ocean, and when they're finished, they never have a problem again. It's go right in the water and down. This is a medicine here. And I hope that the world can see what is going on at Winifred Beach, and that they can come out and enjoy the beauty of the beach, the nature of the beach, the people, and the love of the beach.
Next day, and I know where I'm going.
Run a mongoose, mongoose your name gone abroad.
Because you never know. Because it may not be here that much longer. Not like this, anyway.
Your name.
Sun, sand, rum, and ting. And some more food.
Put it in him left coat pocket, run a mongoose.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Wow, what a spread. I'm not going hungry today. Beautiful. Thank you. I'm so excited. That is actually quite delicious. You're not missing out on starches. I mean, you get yam, plantain, breadfruit, rice, peas, corn, carrots, dumpling, festival.
Like the man said, eat dessert first. Life is uncertain.
That's good. I knew I was coming back here. I knew it was a smart move to come back here. These ladies can cook.
Point being, the way the world turns, the inevitable grind of history seems to indicate that places like this and people like this get plowed under, pushed aside, paved over. Who owns paradise after all? Who in the end gets to own paradise, use paradise, or even visit it? That's a question that's probably worth paying attention to before there's none left at all.
How do you do this and be a good person? I don't think you can. Like, if you wanted to do this regularly for the rest of your life, I would like to spend 3 months out of the year in a hammock looking out at the Caribbean in a secluded beach like this. You'd have to do bad things to do this, right? James Bond doesn't get this. James Bond's a hustler. He gets this for a couple of days before he moves on to the next location. The guy who lives here is the Bond villain, not James Bond. Ian Fleming was much closer to like Blofeld or Hugo Drax. You know, those guys had lots of leisure time, sitting around in hammocks figuring out how to take over the world. A lot of downtime in world domination. Bond was a working class. That's what I've been missing. All right, go wide. Summon the robot piranhas. Where's my cocktail?
Some places surprise you. Even if you've been traveling nearly nonstop for 15 years like me, there are places that snap you out of your comfortable worldview, take your assumptions and your prejudices, and turn them upside down. They lead you to believe that maybe there is hope in the world. Senegal is one of those places.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la la la la, sha la la la la la.
At first, you see what you see in so many places in Africa. The noisy streets, busy markets, the controlled, consensual chaos of daily commerce. But look just a little bit longer, a little bit deeper, and you'll see it's so different here from its neighbors, from anywhere, really. A rebuke to those who paint a whole continent as a monolith of despair or Islam as something to be feared. Senegal turns simple-minded assumptions and prejudice on their heads at every turn.
How did you come to know and like and love this country?
I think it was just listening and watching and thinking, gosh, this is quite different to all the other countries I know. For a start, the language. You've heard Wallo?
Yes.
Sometimes you think people were quarreling.
Right.
And they're not. They're loving. They're laughing.
Ophebia Quist-Arcton is the NPR Africa correspondent. She's of Ghanaian descent, but has made Dakar, the Senegalese capital, her home for over 10 years.
The Senegalese are easy to get on with, and they care about you. And I guess that's what we all want as human beings, isn't it? To be loved, to be cherished, and I found that here. I won't be here forever, because I'm from Ghana, but I will be visiting forever, because there are no two Senegals. I mean, c'est vraiment un pays extraordinaire. I think the Senegalese are extraordinary. They're open. They welcome you. And for me, that about makes a good place to live.
I fear I come with this assumption that Senegal will be yet another failed state or yet another state that has gone through a really terrible post-colonial period that never really, that transitioned badly.
You'll know that Senegal is one of the few countries never had a coup d'etat. And I think that just makes such a huge difference to a nation. We're in a 90+% Muslim country.
Right.
Their first president, a Catholic, who governed for 20 years. And of course, there were elements of repression, but not as we've seen in many other African countries.
Europeans first reached West Africa in the mid-15th century, bringing with them the usual things: an industrialized slave trade, subjugation, the rule of the many by the very few. In the carving up of a continent, it was France that got Senegal. And commanding a favored status within France's West African colonial holdings, the Senegalese gained full rights as French citizens in the late 1800s. With independence in 1960, power passed bloodlessly and with stunning cordiality. Though overwhelmingly a Muslim country, Senegal elected Léopold Senghor, a Catholic, as their first president. And from that time on, Senegal has enjoyed a moderate political and religious climate unique almost anywhere in the world.
Well, food is great when cultures meet, you know, because the colonial power brought their food culture. I think that's what makes great food. And Senegal is great for that because of its geographical location. It's a crossroad. I think that's what makes the food quite unique here.
Pierre Cham is a chef, restaurateur, and cookbook author who was born and raised here at Dakar. His books are absolutely fundamental references when investigating Senegalese cuisine.
This is Senegalese favorite fish. It's called chof. It kind of tastes like grouper, so I think we should have it. Grilled fish.
Senegal has famously delicious food, flavors and often ingredients that should be eerily familiar to any fan of Southern cooking. We meet at Cour de Cassation Beach, serving food just the way I like it. A shack on the water, catch of the day, cooked up out back.
This whole thing is illegal, actually.
Right.
They don't have
But
a
I mean, they
license.
continuously operate. I mean, it's
But every once in a
technically-
while I come and it's closed. The police shuts them down.
Right, and then they come back.
And then they come back, you know.
Oh, these are supposed to be good, right? This is local beer.
It's
It's the finest of the local beer.
Well, it's considered the people's beer. the cheapest one.
Oh, well,
yes.
Figures. I'm a cheap date. You want to hide these?
Actually, they just put it under the table, actually.
You know what I'm going to do? Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Welcome to Dakar.
Thank you. So, I'm really interested in your story. I mean, you were born here.
Yeah, right here, Dakar.
Right here in Dakar. Went to New York.
Yes.
I mean, I'm jumping ahead some, but...
First job in New York was a restaurant job, like
of course.
every immigrant.
Right.
You know, I was a busboy, actually. But from a busboy, just fell in love with what was happening behind the kitchen, because, you know, I come from a culture where kitchen is a women activity, you know, so it's like I'd never seen men cooking.
What was the type of cuisine you were learning?
Mostly American, continental American, and then it turned into Jean-Claude was French bistro.
Right.
From Jean-Claude, Boom opened around the corner. It was like early 90s.
Wait a minute, Boom on Spring Street.
On Spring Street.
Okay, wait a minute. Now, I used to work at that store before it was called WPA. So we work in the same restaurant kitchen.
Same kitchen.
Downstairs, kitchen was downstairs.
I can't believe this, man, because Boom was really the defining moment for me. And Boom had like this global ethnic/Italian.
So you saw a window to start introducing West African flavors.
Yeah.
And it worked. People were receptive to that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tonight, we're having yassa, made with the local fish called chof. Cooked simply, on the bone, wrapped in foil, and steamed over the fire. Served with a mignonette-type sauce of onions.
Oh, yeah.
Grilled mussels, sea urchin.
Grilled mussels, cool. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I'm starving. I mean, I'm really hungry. So, what distinguishes Senegalese cuisine from the neighbors?
I think we have the best food in the continent.
You've traveled in the American South?
Yeah.
I mean, you notice some things about the food?
That's familiar.
It's
familiar.
I mean, look, like shrimp and grits. Okay? I mean, I've eaten shrimp and grits in Africa many times. I mean, they call it something else.
Exactly. I think the most interesting part of American food is our contribution.
How did you feel when you first turned on TV and you see some, rich white lady and she said, well, we're about to do, this is an old family recipe, an American classic, a traditional favorite. And you said, wait a minute, that's
mine.
That's mine. I mean, happy, proud, pissed off, what?
Oh yeah, proud, happy too. No, not pissed off. No, I wasn't never pissed off. I thought, I think food is such a great way of uniting people, It's like breaking barriers. Food is not only about feeding yourself here. In Senegal, it's a whole culture. The most important value is what we call teranga. The more you share, the more your bowl will be plentiful. It's not how much you have, it's how much you give. That's what matters in Senegal. So teranga is that culture.
The call to prayer, 5 times a day, every day. But Friday at 2 p.m. is the most important. Dakar shuts down as people head to the mosque. The invocation of the muezzin reverberates throughout the city. The mosques fill to capacity. People spill onto the sidewalks and streets. They pray where they can. In Senegal, the majority of people are Sufi Muslims, practicing a mystic form of Islam, which is often considered more tolerant.
Senegal is very different from other countries. We are very tolerant. We also have, in Senegalese family, Christian married to Muslim, Muslim married to Christian. So you don't really know exactly who's Christian, and you don't really know who's Muslim.
It is a comfortable assumption that Islam is oppressive to women, that it allows no room for personal expression, that it forces women to hide themselves. These ladies, however, make that argument more complicated. Fama Juf is a photographer. Umi Nador is a journalist and television presenter. Minyel Tall is an entrepreneur and owner of a group of salons. As the country changes, many, if not most, have adopted the cultural values and styles of the West. However, 2 of these women have chosen to wear the traditional hijab.
A lot of people who watch this, particularly women, look at the hijab in particular as an instrument, at very least as an instrument of male oppression. What would you say to them?
For me, religion is a personal thing. And I decided to get this. So why people keep on asking me every day, why?
Well, I think the simple answer is that what to you is a personal lifestyle choice looks to much of the world like a political choice.
It is a choice for me. Yeah. So some of Senegalese girls, they have choice to wear Western clothes. I have also the right to wear Arab fashion.
In a way, the reason behind it for every Muslims will be modesty. Whether you come from a rich background or a poor background, people should not judge you on the way you dress. She doesn't want you to be like, oh my gosh, I loved her hair. Oh, the earrings. Oh, the watch. No. You see us as something threatening, but we are just here in peace.
What about women's roles here traditionally? In many of the African countries that I've been to, often you will see the man walking up front and behind the wife and the children, you know, carrying the bucket of water or, you know, laden down, doing the work.
I mean, here in the car, you're not gonna see it.
You say that with determination.
Oh yeah, I am definitely sure for that. Okay.
As if you will personally ensure that you won't.
Yes. Seriously, I think it's time for women to change the face of Senegal.
Why not now?
They're not ready for that right now.
Why not? What's missing?
You will have powerful women like arguing for what we call parité here, so gender balance. And then you take that same woman and you tell her that her son is supposed to start cooking and doing the laundry. Laundry is even worse.
Sorry, what's wrong with that?
So for a Senegalese woman, taking care of her man and treating him as a king is part of who she is, and she's taking proud out of it.
It's too easy to be a boy here in Senegal. Nothing.
There's been men in the position of presidential, but we can have also a woman in the head of Senegal. If we don't try, we will never know.
Sometimes we get lucky. We get to do things on this show just because it's a show that are frankly awesome. Like this, a small restaurant in Dakar, the delicious smells of Senegalese cooking coming from the kitchen, a band. Youssou N'Dour, one of the most beloved musicians on the African continent, famous throughout the world for blending traditional music of the region with Cuban rumba, American jazz, and R&B. Mbalax, as it came to be known, has had an enormous influence on musicians worldwide, like that Sting guy, Tracy Chapman, and St. Bruce of Asbury, and most famously, his frequent collaborator, Peter Gabriel.
People start to talk about you when you were age 12, when you started to perform professionally.
Yeah.
But did you come from a musical tradition?
My mom, she's a griot. Griot are the storytellers. They are also singers, rappers, and everything. And I grew with my grandma. She was a big singer. She gave me a lot of things. And from there, going to the school for 2 years, then left the school and start my career.
Tonight we are having a beef mafe, which is a stew thickened with ground peanuts. There are similar preparations throughout West Africa, but the Senegalese version is particularly great. Sear the beef, cook the onion, garlic, peppers, and carrots, deglaze with ground peanuts and broth, bringing up all that good stuff from the pan, then simmer until tender and awesome. Serve hot over rice.
Wow.
Ah.
That looks good.
That's good. Good. Thank you.
Wow, this is very, very good.
The symbol of connection Mali and Senegal is the mafe. These things you can appreciate here, you can appreciate in the Mali also.
So what's the future?
Future?
The future, 20 years from now. Where will Senegal be?
What I hope is in 20 years, Senegal is going to be the place for great and big contribution of what we call Islam.
Do you think there's any danger of the kind of radical Islam that we see taking hold in many places in Africa?
All these people who are using the religion, Muslim religion, to do bad things, I think Senegal have an example. I think this country have models of the religion. This country, you know, you are here, I'm doing my local bisap, and you are with your beer. In country, 95% Muslim. And I think this example can help the world.
I hope so. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Jërëjëf. Merci, thank you.
Time stopped. That's what it seems like in the city of Saint Louis when the sun is at its highest and the streets are empty. 160 miles up the coast from Dakar, the one-time capital was a hub for all French West Africa, an important port at the mouth of the Senegal River.
S'il vous plaît, un baguette comme ça.
Every culture has an iconic, much-loved street food, the kind of thing you yearn for when you're away. We have our dirty water hot dogs in New York. Here, they have nadambe.
Nambe, s'il vous plaît.
What people have described as a bean sandwich, but what is really a spread of spicy lentils on a baguette. You buy your baguette at the bakery, bring it over to the nice lady. She slathers on the good stuff, and there you go. And it is indeed addictively delicious.
Je crois qu'on ne peut bien comprendre le cas de Saint-Louis, la situation de Saint-Louis, on ne peut bien le comprendre que si on connaît bien la géographie. Parce que ce qui a fait cette ville, de mon point de vue, c'est son fleuve. Parce que c'est un fleuve qui dessert 5 États, 5 pays. Mali, Mauritanie, Sénégal, bien sûr, Guinée.
So everything came through here.
Qui sont.
Attitudes about many things are decidedly different here. Where many post-colonial cultures are ambivalent or conflicted about their bloodlines, picking black or white to identify with, here people are proud of who they are and where they came from. All of it.
I'm curious why the post-colonial experience in Senegal is so different than the post-colonial experience almost everywhere else.
I think that the pre-colonial and the colonial experience in Senegal is different also. Not only the post-colonial experience, because Saint-Louis had lots of influences, I think.
Arab, Portuguese.
Before that, Portuguese and English first.
Yes.
They were here. And after that, from the Morocco.
My feeling also is that because we're at the crossing of various roads, independently from the colonization period, makes the Senegalese people very open-minded, very good negotiator also.
Marie-Caroline Camara is a Saint-Louis métisse, Senegalese father, French mother, and she's hosted a lunch with some friends and colleagues, all of whom consider themselves Senegalese first, before anything.
And my feeling compared to other African countries is that maybe it's come also from the Wolof women, because the Métis family here, people were really married. But at least
between Wolof and other groups.
You know, compared to West Indies, where even if people had, some white people had children with their slaves, they were not recognized. Here, all these children and unions were recognized. Yes. So for me, that is very special.
The most richest in Senegal is our culture. It's not petrol, oil, or other thing. I think that is our culture, our type of life, our customs.
Music.
Music, yes, our culinary art.
Okay, so we're eating mulet farci à la Saint-Louisienne.
Lovely.
It's a big fish from the river.
Mullet farci, stuffed mullet, the fish deboned and filled with a seafood farce of fish, herbs, vegetables, and bread, and baked.
It's an amazing meal, delicious.
Amazing meal?
Yes, really good. So, how are things in Senegal today?
How things? What kind of things?
Is the environment good for business in Senegal now? Is it getting better? I mean, there seems to be a lot of money coming in Dakar. You see buildings going up. Somebody's building.
The key thing for me will be the development of businesses. And because when you look at all these young people in Saint-Louis, and there is no companies to employ them, let the young people take a big part of the power, which is not in our tradition, but we need the young people to be strong.
If you could compare yourself to someplace else in another major city in the world,
yes,
the New York of Western Africa?
The Hong Kong of West Africa.
Oh, no, ouch. Yeah, you're right.
Kuilal ma demba, demba ma changayo, ni kuilal that side, kuilal sama domje, ayo be yo, kuilal ma demba, demba ma changayo, ni kuilal that side. Kuilal sama domje, feral say rongoñ.
C'est trop beau.
Money, You like it, I like it, we all like it, and there's a flood of green pouring into the developing world. Greed-head foreign speculators for sure, but also entrepreneurs, often educated abroad, but returning to build businesses around a growing middle class. Telecoms to financial institutions to the restaurants that grow up around them. Maquis were once neighborhood working-class dive bars. Now, many are becoming more respectable drinking establishments. The Brooklynization of Africa begins.
Cheers.
I joined Pierre, his film professor brother Christian Cham, and their friend Patma Jauji, a local businessman.
Who is joining the middle class in Senegal? Where are they coming from?
Most of the people are local people who now get proper training.
Right.
And then you have a small group of guys like us who went abroad and are coming back.
Now, a phenomena that I have seen in other countries in West Africa is one where people leave either because of war, oppression, necessity, financial, education, and when they come back, there is resentment. How do they feel about people like you who go and come back?
You know, unlike most other places, over here, there's a tremendous amount of pride in your family. Senegalese rarely go and just cut off.
Yeah, it's true. No, that's true. But in addition to people who go, they send money back home.
There's more money coming from the immigrants than the money that we receive from the World Bank or IMF or everything like that.
Why is this the case in Senegal? Where does this attitude come from?
It's just the nature of the social fabric. It's not an individualistic society.
What about the French colonial experience? That too, was it different than?
It's
very different from Senegal to the other countries.
Because the French used Senegal as their as their anchor for their colonial expansion. The French then said, okay, you Senegalese, we're gonna train you up to borderline high school education, and you're gonna be the forefront, the fulcrum of our administrative service. So if you go to Cote d'Ivoire, you go to Burkina, a lot of the guys who are running the administration were Senegalese.
I think one of the major differences between Senegal and the other countries, not that we're better or anything like that, but in Senegal, it's probably one of the only countries in West Africa, or probably in all Africa, where I can be from one ethnic group, and he can be from a different ethnic group. But we can talk without French, using a local language and understand each other, because everybody speaks Wolof.
I happen to believe that this world is going to be a better place when more cultures are actually given a chance to be put at the table.
Each generation has its mission. We have a saying in one of the say, Yalla Bakhna, that means God is great. And we always say it when there is no solution. We say, oh, Yalla Bakhna, like you leave it in the hand of God. But we tell people, this is in our hand. This is our future and the future of the next generation coming.
As relatively good as things have been for Senegal, democracy, as it turns out, requires regular maintenance, diligence needed, and the willingness to stand up. Jilly Baghdad is a musician and activist who's doing what, well, the last poets and Chuck D and others have done before him. Say things that are important, loudly, and often. They call him debiteri, and debi is generally grilled spiced lamb, hacked into pieces and served on grease-stained paper with grilled onions and mustard on the side.
Well, that was quick. From the beginning, I mean, was there always like a social justice, political component to what you were doing musically?
From day one. And the first thing we did was go do a campaign called My Voting Card, My Weapon. And we did songs and we did mobile concerts all over the country to raise awareness. And it was the bum rush in the registering spots. Everybody went to register. That's a step. as little as it could seem, that's a step into being conscious of what your power is.
In 2012, then-President Abdoulaye Wade fell victim to the maybe I should be president for life syndrome that afflicts so many of his neighbors. He proposed amending the Constitution so that he could run for a third term, as well as creating a new vice presidential position which many feared he intended for his son. Jilly and many, many young people like him were having none of it. They formed a group called Y'en a marre, or Fed Up. Using music as a draw and a hook, they threw enormous rallies across the country, made aggressive and innovative use of social media, all in the cause of getting out the vote and shutting anti-democratic initiatives down. It worked.
I know that like with this civic movement that we started and raising awareness, I think the African Union of people can start from here, because this is amazing. The new generation will learn from what we've done, and maybe the next president might not be a politician at all. You never know.
Obvious question, why don't you run for office?
No, I'm not an aspiring politician, not at all. But I can see myself helpful for my community. We have everything to emerge. It's about believing in ourselves and trusting ourselves that we can do it.
Lac Rose, known for its pink hue and salt harvesters, sits near the Senegalese coast. And not too long ago was also the finish line for a legendary Trans-African endurance race.
Okay? Yeah, great. No problem.
Driving up to 10,000 grueling kilometers from Paris, south through Spain, across Morocco, down the Western Sahara, all the way to, well, right here. The Paris-Dakar Rally tested its drivers like no other race, sometimes driving over 20 hours a day over ground like this.
So this is the same road that the rally Paris-Dakar took.
Jean Hazard is a Senegalese of Lebanese descent who grew up here watching the final stretch of the race. It was a galvanizing event for him. He has since completed the race himself 3 times.
So when I was young, I came with my parents to see the arrival of the Paris-Dakar race.
Yeah.
That's why I like to make races.
It's been 8 years since specially modified true off-road vehicles with powerful engines and cutting-edge designs roared across the desert and through tiny African villages. I, of course, had to try out one of these beasts, and it's about as much fun as you can have while wearing pants.
Where am I going?
Good. It's nice.
Just like this.
First time?
Good pace, yeah. It's like driving in snow.
Yes.
After terrassing around for a few hours, it's traditionally chicken and beer on the beach. We're joined by Jean's fellow Paris-Dakar racers, Mamles Jallo and Abdou Cham.
My friend Mamles made 12 times the Paris-Dakar.
12 times?
With bike.
Motorbike. On a motorbike?
Yeah.
Wow. So what happened? It stopped in...
The last race was in 8.
2007.
Yeah, in 2008, we were at the start, and we didn't start.
That's right.
We didn't
They
start.
canceled the race.
In 2008, officials shut the event down with racers from all over the world at the starting line, a response to the murder of 4 French citizens in Mauritania and to the discovery of potential terrorist threats against the race in the region. The race, now called the Dakar Rally, was moved off the African continent and currently runs much of the length of South America.
But will it come back? What do you think?
Here in Senegal?
Yeah.
Never.
Whoa!
I hope so.
Never.
Why? Why never?
Because these people, when they live, they did it not in a fair way.
So you think they don't deserve to have it back?
No.
But is there still racing here? Within the country? Within Senegal? I mean, you race.
We have, after South Africa, the second circuit in all over Africa. It's very, very, very important for us, for Africa, and it's exceptional for us. How do you like the chicken? It's okay?
Oh, man, it's good. Are you kidding me? Hitting it hard. So you told me before that if I wanted to, I could get in the car and drive to Saint Louis.
To Saint Louis. That way.
How long will that take?
C'est plus court.
Flat out.
An hour and a half.
Let's go.
You're
Let me finish my chicken.
Pierre Cham's Aunt Marie is the matriarch of the family. She often hosts uncles, aunts, sons and daughters, friends and relatives from near and abroad.
Teranga is hospitality. That's the translation. But it's the most important value is really the way you treat the other. Love. You receive love. That's what Teranga is. So today you're our guest, so you'll be treated with our national dish.
Everyone comes together, often over this iconic dish, chebujan, which in Wolof means simply rice with fish. It's pretty much the national dish of Senegal. Today, it's Senegalese grouper, scored and stuffed with a mixture of garlic, parsley, and peppers, then slow simmered in a hearty tomato broth, infused with a funkatizing goodness brought by fermented conch and saltfish, served over rice and vegetables.
I'm going to watch you, and I'm going to do what you do.
Let's do it. Let's go.
The meal is eaten from one communal platter, an experience both fun and instructive, sustenance and life lesson.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that sauce is awesome.
Normally, children are not allowed to talk and to go too far in the middle of the plate.
So they got to eat around the edges?
So you will have an adult, the mother or an aunt or something, cutting pieces of fish or meat for them.
It's a way to teach them to be content with their portion. You know, not only children, but everyone. You have to imagine a triangle in front of you, and that's the triangle that is your limit to the bowl. Right. You have to chew slowly. You have to be patient. So all these values are taught when we eat around the bowl.
So if I were looking for a metaphor for a Senegalese society, this would be it?
This is it. This is Senegalese society. Senegal is a special country.
ñu bokk xalaat bokk gis-gis bokk yéene we Africa.
A few years back, I got the words, "I am certain of nothing," tattooed on my arm. It's what makes travel what it is, an endless learning curve, the joy of being wrong, of being confused. Africa, more than any other continent, needs to be seen by the world as both the place we all came from and where we are going.
Walk together, keep on walking. Chef Antonio, Wally Kuma, Stephen Biko, Nelson